Uh, Hello and welcome to the Sherlock Reel.
Hey.
My name is Carl Sherlock, and that intro needs to be fixed. I do apologize to everybody. Today, as we are on the weekend of the Oscars, we decided to count down the last 32 years of Oscar winners and try and find the best one of them all. Um, we have a great panel with us here today, and from Feature Flicks, we have Movie Trivia Schmodown's own Boston Badass, Paige.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and talk Oscars, because it's the big show tomorrow night, so.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Next, we have regular on the show. We have Rob.
Hi, how's it going, guys? Great to be back. Looking forward to this show. Some great movies to. At least everyone is going to be a good movie we're talking about tonight.
For the most part. After that, we have Beyond the Imagination Emporium's own Steph.
Hey everybody, I apologize in advance if you hear snoring coming from the background. It's not a reflection of the show, I guarantee you, because I'm going to learn loads today. I've just had a bit of a long week, so but I am looking forward to this.
Perfect. And finally, we have movie Jordan Anderson.
Hey, I feel privileged to be here because I'm with all you wonderful people from Ireland. I just love listening to your accents and your voices. It's just the best. And then also we have a minor celebrity in the house with Paige. So I'm just excited to be here and talk Oscars, So, yeah.
Yay.
Let's do it.
Perfect. We're going to jump into this, and two very different films to start off with. And Paige, you have the honors of going first. It's Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King against Driving Miss Daisy.
Ooh, this is a good one. For me personally, I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I can't believe it took to the final film for them to win Best Picture. It was definitely well deserved. I think so, even though the whole film is them just taking a little road trip to drop off a ring off the top of a cliff. But for me, honestly, I love those films. I love fantasy sci-fi films. So for me, I'm going to go Return of the King. What do you guys think?
Well, I'm going to have to vote Return of the King as well. As much as Driving Miss Daisy is a fantastic film, Lord of the Rings for me, and anyway, even though I think the second film is technically better than the third, Lord of the Rings, I love it, and I can't see it. I just don't want it going out in the first round. So that's a vote there for myself. Jordan, what about you?
This one's easy for me. This is like an automatic pass. Like I don't even have to think about it. Like I think I saw Driving Miss Daisy like back in the day, right when it first came out, and I was so young that it didn't really resonate too well with me. So I was just like I didn't really understand how powerful Morgan Freeman actually is, But so in hindsight, maybe if I would have saw it when I was a little older, I would have appreciated it more. But I got to go with Lord of the Rings, no question. That's easy.
That's 3 votes. So Lord of the Rings will be going through to the next round. Steph, would you have voted the same way?
Yeah, to be honest, I think kind of you took the words out of my mouth. I would hate to see it be eliminated in the first round, to be honest. So between the two, I would go Lord of the Rings.
Perfect. And Rob, would you have gone the same way yourself?
Definitely, yeah, Lord of the Rings. Again, I don't think the third movie was the best one, but I suppose they gave it the Oscar for that one because it was the three of them, really. I felt that they were giving it for because it was never done before that type of thing. 3 movies being made all at once. Driving Miss Daisy is a great movie. Morgan Freeman was amazing. Jessica Tandy, Dan Aykroyd. It was a great film, but Lord of the Rings can't go yet. So that gets my vote.
Perfect. That's clean sweep for Lord of the Rings. That's gone through to the next round, and it still stands as the only film to be nominated for, or to win a Best Picture. Win a Best Picture and not one acting nomination for the movie, which is the only film to do that.
Bizarre.
Next up.
That was easy for all of us.
And Rob,
Yep.
Yeah, starts off easy. Next up, though, Rob, you can go ahead with The Shape of Water against Rain Man.
Ooh. That's already a hard one.
Okay. Well, look, The Shape of Water was good.
The, the old,
good.
I
really
will say,
enjoyed
it's one of the newest films. It's one of the
Yeah.
newest films against the oldest film on the list. Rain Man is that came in 32 years ago. So the oldest film on the list is
32
Rain
years
Man.
ago, man.
Oh my
Make
God,
you
in
feel
the
old.
32 years now, you really make me feel old.
Yep.
But like, I love Rain Man. I think Dustin Hoffman's portrayal of Raymond is brilliant. He did win his Oscars for that as well. I think he was brilliant in it. Tom Cruise is always good, if you ask me. Nearly always good, if you ask me. I love The Shape of Water. To be honest, I didn't think it was a good enough film to win an Oscar. I really enjoyed it, but I didn't think it deserved the Oscar. So, Rain Man wins for me.
That's one for Rain. Yourself.
I didn't
And
see
Paige?
The Shape of Water.
Maybe.
I think we're having some technical
Did
difficulties
you say
here.
my name? I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. Did you say my name?
I did indeed. Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
I did,
I'm so
yeah.
sorry. I thought you said Steph. I did not hear you at all. Honestly, for me, I mean, like I said, I love fantasy sci-fi films. I loved what Guillermo del Toro did with The Shape of Water. Personally, that was probably top 3 of my favorite that year. But I truly, truly love Rain Man. Especially as a person that works with adults with disabilities. I think that is just an amazing film overall. And I mean, Dustin Hoffman won his Academy Award for it, and I mean, I think it's like it's like a modern classic, I would say. So for me, I'm going with Rain Man.
Perfect. I'm on the same boat there. I didn't think as much as I enjoyed Shape of Water and I really thought it was a good film, I thought there was movies that came out that year that deserved to win it over Shape of Water, and I was actually kind of disappointed when it won it, even though I was delighted for Guillermo del Toro to win. But Rain Man is a classic. It's definitely a classic. I'm gonna have to vote for that to go through to the next round. So that is going through. But Jordan, would you vote the same way?
Yeah. So for me, I love Guillermo del Toro as far as like the world building that he does and the creatures that he comes up with and like all these crazy ideas. Sometimes his writing doesn't really resonate too well with me. The story, like the actual writing part of it, doesn't always. So with this one, that was kind of the case a little bit, and so I got to go with the Rain Man, and Rain Man's a movie that I quote all the time. Dustin Hoffman, where he's like, Judge Wapner comes on at 3, then we got Jeopardy in the Wheel. Tuesday is Pudding Cup Day or whatever, you know. He has all those lines. So, and I've actually worked with adults with
definitely not wearing my underwear.
Yep. And I've also worked with adults with mental disabilities also. So I mean, I have a little bit of a connection there too. So yeah, I got to go with Rain Man.
Perfect, Rain Man. And Steph, would you have gone the same way yourself?
I think I'd have had to because I've not seen The Shape of Water, so so I can't comment on it, to be honest.
That's
but
fair
I
enough.
mean, Rain Man, so you know, happy to vote.
Perfect. Okay. So starting off, and we'll start off with yourself there as well, Steph. On one, we have The Hurt Locker versus Shakespeare in Love.
Okay, so here's another one I've not seen. I've not seen The Hurt Locker, and I know very little about it. And I adore Shakespeare in Love. It's one of my favorites. Love the cast, love the story. So I kind of have to vote for that one, considering I haven't seen the other one. So I don't know. I'd be interested to hear others' opinions on it, but I'd have to vote Shakespeare in Love. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, and Rob.
Oh, I'm not the biggest fan of war movies. The Hurt Locker was brilliant, and Catherine Bigelow, that was the big thing, that it was a female director and that she won this. It was great. But I'm a soppy out git when it comes to it, really, so I'm going to vote for Shakespeare in Love because I really like that movie. Although, in saying that, I hated the fact that Judi Dench, was it, won Best Supporting Actress for like 30 seconds or something in the movie.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Like, but other than that, it was a great film.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, and Paige, are you going with Shakespeare in Love eliminating the Hurt Locker, or does it stand a chance?
For me personally, I have not seen the entire film of Shakespeare in Love. So I think by fault, I'm just going to go with The Hurt Locker, just because I think it was such an amazing thing that a woman, Catherine Bigelow, directed that film. And I'm pretty sure she won Best Director for it as well, if I'm correct.
She did.
Yeah.
She did, yeah.
Okay, cool.
She did,
Don't want to give wrong facts out there. But no, I think what a woman did with that film was amazing. I'm not really into war movies, because what is war good for? Absolutely nothing. But I have to study them because of Schmodown. So for me, I'm going to go with The Hurt Locker.
Perfect. That's actually going to be 2 votes for The Hurt Locker there as well. It's a movie that kind of launched Jeremy Renner's career as well. And his acting performance in it was fantastic. So it's The Hurt Locker for myself. You get to the final decision. Is it Hurt Locker or Shakespeare in Love to go through to the next round?
Well, I got to go with The Hurt Locker, just because I can't stand Shakespeare in Love even being an Oscar winner, because it beat out Saving Private Ryan and it beat out Life is Beautiful. Both those movies, I think, should have won over that. I think there's just like a total snub year where both of those absolutely should have won over Shakespeare in Love. And because of that, I've always had this stigma against Shakespeare in Love. I've seen it one time and I'm never going to go back and watch it, just because I just feel a little hurt by that. So yeah, even though I don't have anything personally invested in it, it's just kind of just that type of feeling for me. Yeah.
That is fair. It definitely shouldn't have beaten Saving Private Ryan. And Saving Private Ryan, I think that's definitely shouldn't have.
I
done
also
that.
think
Jordan,
you said
we'll start
Life
off
is Beautiful was in that year, right?
Yeah, right.
No.
Yeah,
Life is Beautiful was like my favorite movie that year. I think that movie is
same.
so beautiful. I just watched that a couple of years ago and I fell in love with that movie. So
yeah, it makes me cry every time. Oh.
Same.
Perfect. So Jordan, here's your one now. Starting off is Parasite against Argo.
Ooh.
2 more
This one's
recent
a little
ones.
tough. Yeah, and I remember when Argo won, Ben Affleck, he didn't even get nominated for Best Director, but like literally that year he won at every other award show, but he didn't even get nominated at the Oscars. So I thought that was a little strange. But at the same time, when I went into Parasite, that was just one of those movies where I honestly had no idea. I kind of went in with a blank slate. I didn't know if it was going to be good or bad or what it was going to be, but it absolutely blew me away. I absolutely love Parasite. Like I just thought that it was so good. It may even have been my favorite movie that year. So I got to go with Parasite. That movie was just amazing. So, yep, Parasite.
Perfect. 1 for Parasite and Steph.
Okay, I've seen neither film here, so this is like not a good round for me.
That's no butter.
I mean, I can do eeny, meeny, miny, moe if you want me to. I don't mind. But I will tell you this. I have a bit of a grudge against Parasite, and this is total selfish reason, right? I love The Irishman, which didn't get nominated. And for as many things as it should have done. And I was just a bit annoyed that The Irishman didn't come away with anything that I felt it should have done. Because in terms of nominations and like the fact that it didn't win, I was just like really hurt by that. So when Parasite came out with everything, I was like, why? Even though I haven't seen it. So it's seriously selfish and not really fair. But I don't know. Maybe it's really, really unfair if I go Argo. over Parasite, just because I have a personal grudge against them.
You know, watch
But
both
then
of
I
them.
have
It's definitely
Parasite.
one that you should watch. Parasite really was.
Yeah, no, my husband is always saying he wants to watch it with me, and I'm just still so hurt over The Irishman not winning over that. So I don't know. I'll make my peace with it at some point and watch it, because I'm sure it is like excellent, and I'll really enjoy it when I do it. It's just that, I don't know. I'll go with Parasite because it did win all those awards and people rave about it. So I'll give credit where it's probably due. I'll have to wait a little longer before I can 100% make that decision. I'll go
Perfect.
Parasite.
Okay. Perfect. And Rob, is Parasite going true, or does Argo have a line?
Well, I can't. I
would
haven't
agree.
seen Argo, which is terrible because I love Ben Affleck. I really love Ben Affleck, and I know the story of the movie. And we're all big movie fans, so like it's one kind of film that we should probably all watch. It's one of those. But I only recently watched Parasite, and I was pretty blown away by it as well. I must admit, it was just so different. The tone of the whole thing, the different levels. You could talk for hours about that movie. So yeah, Parasite wins for me. And I'd be Irish.
Perfect. Paige, would you have gone the same way?
I don't know. This one's a hard one for me because I enjoy both films a lot. I mean, Ben Affleck's a Boston boy, so he holds a special place in my heart. So it's hard though because they're two completely different types of film. One is, I mean, Bon Joon-ho, all of his films are about like structure and class, which I think is something very powerful to show in cinema. And Argo is just about like, well, it's about something very big, but it's also about like it's about infiltrating the CIA and all that, and then getting the people out, but behind using Hollywood as like a backdrop to help them. For me, I mean, I guess I'm gonna go. Personally, I like Argo more as a film, but I'm gonna go Parasite on this one.
All right.
Perfect. Parasite. Honestly, Parasite gets my vote as well. After watching that film, me and my wife, we kind of sat there in the cinema silent for maybe 3 or 4 minutes after watching it because we were just kind of blown away by it so much. And it was one that I hadn't an idea what the film was about when we went in, and I kind of had to drag herself into it, and we both loved it. It was it actually was my favorite film of last year when it came out. I absolutely adored that film. So Parasite going through with a clean sweep there. And
I
now
saw
we come
Parasite
to
probably about 3 times in theaters because I kept finding friends that like, I'm like, you haven't seen Parasite? All right, cancel your plans. We're going to see it now. So like yeah, it's just another thing too. Like I got to take everyone to go see it because it's one of those movies that you wouldn't really think to see. I think most people probably wouldn't see it because it's a foreign film, So not a lot of eyes are on it. So I want to get those eyes on it.
No, that's very true. It's very true. Definitely bring people to see that, get people to see it. But the next one I'm going to start off, and I'm going to just straight away vote for it. Spotlight definitely needs to go through in this one. Spotlight against The Artist. I don't think it's much of a competition really here. Again, Spotlight was one of these films that at the end of it, I sat there completely silent. That film completely blew me away, and Marco was definitely robbed from a Best Supporting Actor nomination or Best Supporting Actor win over Mark Rylance. Definitely for this, but the movie just completely blew me away. Definitely needs to go through above The Artist. Do you agree there?
Oh God! What a pull! Wait, which one did you say? Did you say you were cutting out?
Spotlight against The Artist. I'm voting Spotlight.
Yeah, but who?
Jordan,
did you call,
sorry,
Carl?
apologies.
Oh, you say me? Sorry, yeah, I can hear you.
Jordan.
Yeah. So I think that for me, like I would probably have to choose Spotlight just because like the story was just one that was really intriguing to me. Like I really loved the writing. I thought it was great, and honestly, so like I kind of have a love-hate relationship with the Oscars, and The Artist is one of those movies that just put me to sleep. Like if I have some insomnia, I'll just watch The Artist, put that on, and I'll be out. So like that movie just does not resonate with me. It's just boring. Like yeah, I can't do it. So I got to go Spotlight.
Perfect. Okay, and Steph.
Yeah, no competition for me really. It's Spotlight. I would definitely want to see go through over the two. Kind of echo what Jordan just said about The Artist. It just really, I don't know what I was expecting from it, but it wasn't really my cup of tea or something. I don't know. So yeah, of the two, just it has to be Spotlight for me.
Perfect. Okay, that's 3 votes, so it is going through. Rob, would you have gone the same way?
I would, yeah. The Artist, I love watching movies. I love watching something different, but I haven't had much of an interest in watching The Artist. So it's never appealed to me too much. I recently only watched Spotlight as well, and everybody was brilliant in it. The film itself was fabulous, yeah. So that definitely gets my vote. The subject matter was so touchy. It was so powerful.
Yeah.
I thought Mark Ruffalo, you said he didn't win anything for that.
No, he was
he
nominated for
should have
Best
won an
Supporting
Oscar.
Actor, but
Yeah,
Mark
yeah, he
Rylance
definitely
won
could have
for
won.
Bridge of Spies.
He was
All
robbed.
right, okay.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, he was robbed then. Yeah, well, man was great in Bridge of Spies, but Ruffalo was robbed. I think. Yeah, it was one of his best movies. I think.
Perfect. 100%, 100%. And Paige, would you have agreed?
Oh, all day, every day, Spotlight, man. I'm a Boston girl. I used to work right next to the Boston Globe. So that is my choice. Easy for me.
Perfect. Nice and easy one there. And so we're
unanimous.
We'll stick with your stuff there, Paige, and we'll kick on with Slumdog Millionaire versus American Beauty.
Oh, sorry, that whistle probably echoed to people. Ooh, this is a good one. Well, since like Kevin Spacey is canceled, I'm assuming we can't vote for him. I mean, that's a good one. They're two very different types of movies. I'm gonna go with I think Slumdog Millionaire because I loved that film and I thought it was so unique in a sense. And who knew a movie about the Indian version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire could be so interesting? And Dev Patel is the main character, correct? Did I say his name right? I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dev Patel. Yeah.
Got it.
It's a phenomenal job. I can't wait to see him. He hasn't had as many roles as I'd like to see him in recently, but I mean, I think he's an amazing performer, and I'm gonna go with Slumdog Millionaire on this one because Kevin Spacey is canceled.
Perfect. I'm actually voting for Slumdog. I'm voting for Slumdog myself. Echoing a lot of your points, I thought the film just didn't expect it to be so interesting to film, and Dev Patel was really good in it. And I can honestly say I've never looked at Hot Metal Spoons the same way since that film. So Slumdog is definitely going through for me there. For yourself.
Yeah, for me, I gotta go with Slumdog Millionaire. I actually haven't ever even seen American Beauty. It's just one of those ones that I guess never really appealed that much to me. So I haven't ever seen it. And now that Kevin Spacey is canceled, I have less of a reason to really run out and see it. I probably will see it someday, but I mean, I thought Slumdog Millionaire was just absolutely awesome because for me, like it was just the story of this total guy that came from the slums, like Slumdog, like he was poor and he got this opportunity and movie just was just super exciting and just a movie like about a guy in a game show and and even the soundtrack. You have that song "Jai Ho" that became kind of a little bit of a hit, you know. So yeah, like I love Slumdog Millionaire. So yeah, I got to go with that one.
Perfect. True. Steph, would you agree?
I don't know, to be honest. I do find that quite a funny one because like back in the day I used to really love American Beauty. I thought it's just kind of what I like. It's like when you watch a James Spader film and you're like, what level of quirkiness and weird and oddball are we talking about here? And I had that same feeling when I watched American Beauty.
Sure.
And I just thought everyone's performance
I love the movie, but with Kevin Spacey getting canceled.
I love everyone's performance in it. I haven't seen it for a very long time, I'll be honest. So I'm sure there's bits I'm forgetting about, but I loved the performance. I liked the musicality that they used in the film as well. I just remember, liking it pretty much on the whole when I watched it, but I just remember everyone's performances. That's the one thing I remember. And, it's been several years since I've seen that film. And I just remember everyone had a top-notch performance. And like Tora Birch, who I didn't really follow her career that much anymore, but like, I just thought she was great in it and everyone did so well. But Slumdog Millionaire, I would have likened less as a film. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I thought it was a nice film, but I don't know. When it comes to the category this is in, like we're talking about Oscar films, I don't know. I find it hard because on one hand, I think kind of like the way you, Jordan, described Slumdog Millionaire, like it is just like kind of one of those feel good kind of, like it's a nice. You can't say that about American Beauty. Like, you're not going to come away and go, well, that was I feel really good and positive. Right. You come away going, what have I just watched? I felt kind of weird afterwards, but I loved it.
It's a little creepy.
So I don't know. I might be the unpopular opinion. Like, put it this way, Slumdog is going through anyway. So I'm going to say American Beauty just because I feel I remember more, interest in that film. It's years since I've seen either of them. So I'm going to say American Beauty knowing that Slumdog is going through anyway.
Perfect. Okay, and Rob, which way would you have gone?
I haven't watched Slumdog Millionaire, mainly because of the hot spoon thing, to be honest. That kind of turned me off watching the movie. I love the idea. I believe the whole idea of him wanting to get onto the game show was to make the phone call. I believe that was his goal for doing it. So I thought the story behind the thing was brilliant. I'm one of these guys that hates the idea of watching Kevin Spacey. But every time I saw him in a film, he was brilliant. But the thoughts of watching him sticking to me. I never liked the idea of watching him, but he was always brilliant. And I loved American Beauty. I thought, especially the ending of it was fabulous. What? I think so. My vote would go for American Beauty.
You've hated seeing him in the last 20 years.
No, well, like even before all this shit came out, I never liked looking at him, but it was always brilliant.
I agree. That's my vote. Yeah.
Perfect. So, and Rob, we're going to stick with yourself there.
Oh, okay. What's next up? Oh God!
Moonlight versus Schindler's List.
Oh.
You
had to do it to us. Bound to come up eventually.
I had to do it. I never. Yep.
Oh, good.
I was half right there, but I didn't.
Whose turn is it?
Rob, but I think we've lost him. I think we have.
Froze.
So until we get him back there, Paige, why don't you start us off with this one?
Oh man, let me start this off real quick. This is a hard one. Once again, they're two completely different types of film. Oh no, I don't know. I mean, on one, oh man, I don't even know how to even think of this one. I'm gonna go with the film I enjoyed more, which is Moonlight. That's just how I'm gonna leave it because it's too hard.
Okay,
They're both great
That's choice.
films.
Didn't bounce it.
perfect. Okay, Rob, do we have you back there, Rob?
Yeah, like neither of them are enjoyable movies, if you ask me.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
That's why I just
I'll
think
go
it's
with
so hard.
Schindler's. I'll go with Schindler's. I didn't really see Moonlight, so I'll
Schindler's
go
List.
with Schindler's because I haven't really seen them. It was terrible, the controversy of how the whole mistake being made at the end of the Oscars and
Yeah.
and that.
Wonder if we'll get any of those tomorrow.
highlighted the Moonlight more. But
Right.
Schindler's was an amazing film, so I'll give it to Schindler's.
Perfect. And Jordan, what about yourself?
Well, so for me, I'm actually glad we're talking about Moonlight and not La La Land. Because like La La Land's great. I mean, but I think Moonlight definitely deserved it. But at the same time, though, so I just watched Schindler's List for the first time probably like about a month and a half ago, and so it was a very powerful movie that just really stuck with me. And it's a movie that's they're both pretty hard to watch, honestly. But I think that the like Schindler's List, like for me, I could really appreciate like there was just a masterpiece from like beginning to end, just like a great film, and the music just gets to you like for me, just hearing the soundtrack alone almost gets me teared up a little bit. So I think that I got to go with Schindler's List. That movie, yeah, it is like near a masterpiece. So yeah, I'll go with that.
Perfect. That's 2 for Schindler's. Steph, what about yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with the comments I saw pop up from your wife, Schindler's List. I mean, like Rob said, I can't say like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
can't wait to watch Schindler's List. What a feel good movie. Like nobody's going to say that watching it, but it's just such
Don't
a
lie, you watch it
brilliant
every Monday night.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I'll go Schindler's List definitely. I mean, it is a masterpiece. I'm not in a rush to watch it again. I watched it for the first time in a while a few years ago, and that's
Yeah,
still me
it's
for the next 3 years probably. So I'll wait a while
It's one
before
of those
watching it again.
films that
But
you'll
yeah,
probably only watch once every. It's one of those films you'll probably only watch once every 5 to 10
every
years.
Christmas.
Just because.
Every Christmas,
Yeah.
Carl.
Oh,
I
yeah.
put it
Definitely not during Christmas.
With Christmas
Christmas
film.
morning with the kids. Come on, we'll all sit and watch Schindler's List.
Oh yeah.
How we do things in my house.
I'm going to vote for Schindler's. I'm going to vote for Schindler's List there as well. As much as I loved Moonlight was a really, really good film, and I was actually happy that it won over La La Land. But since my vote on this one doesn't really matter, I'd rather not sleep on the couch tonight, and I'm voting for Schindler's List.
Yeah, for me, people always tell me to watch Schindler's List on my birthday because my birthday is April 30th. That's the day Hitler died, so that's why people tell me that. But no, like I can't watch it that often. No way.
That's my eldest son's birthday. I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, nice. Yep.
I'm gonna go tell my 13-year-old. Jake.
Celebrate his birthday and Hitler's death on the same day.
Happy birthday.
Yep.
Next up, we'll start off with yourself here, Steph. We have Dances with Wolves versus Titanic.
Okay, first off, I've not actually seen. I don't think I've seen all of Dances with Wolves. I've completely blanked the ending if I have seen it yet, but I don't remember the end of it. Titanic was a masterpiece. Like, I mean, I kind of loathe if someone was to say to me, "Come on, we sit down and watch Titanic." The first thing I think is it's so long, and it's just and I'd have to be in a very particular mindset to want to sit down and watch it. But the performances, especially from Kate Winslet, are just fantastic. And the work that went in to that film. I'm gonna say Titanic. Like, I do love the film, even though I don't watch it often because it's just so long. But like, I don't have the time to sit and watch it.
I
but
remember when I remember when I was younger and when it came out, I had the VHS for it, and it came with 2 VHSs because it was so
Yeah.
long that you
Yeah.
had to have the
I
2 of them.
Yeah.
Well,
It was such a bitch to rewind that.
Exactly.
It was so long.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Right.
I never did.
Oh yeah. Rob, what about yourself?
my vote would go for Titanic. I love Titanic. It was great. I haven't seen Dances with Wolves, to be honest. I love Kevin Costner, but I've just never wanted to sit through 3 hours of him, to be honest. So I haven't bothered. I'm sure it's an amazing film, but it just wasn't for me. Where I could easily sit through a few hours of Leo and Kate Winslet. Although, she could have moved over a piece of wood, let's be honest. Didn't have to let the poor fucker drown.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, move
Absolutely
over.
could've. There was room on that little piece
There
of
was
wood.
room on that
Titanic.
board.
Yeah.
Bloody sure there was. There was loads of it, yeah. But yeah, Titanic.
Perfect. And Paige.
I completely agree with Rob just said. She could have moved over and shared the door. 1,000% to save our lovely Leo. But no, for me, this is kind of an easy one for me. I really
Save
do
Jack.
love. Yep, save Jack. Hashtag that, guys. Let's do it.
Hashtag.
Save Jack. Easy one for me. I'm gonna go with Titanic.
Titanic going through to the next round. If it was me, if my vote mattered there, I'd be voting for that as well. I thought Titanic was, again, it's one of these winners that completely deserved to win. And sure, look, it's still in the news all the time. It's one of the only three films, isn't it, that to get over 3 billion in the box office. So I mean, it's
number 1 for years.
Yeah.
So
Of course, it's a
for
James
Titanic,
Cameron movie, so he just makes lots of money, I guess.
Yep.
yeah. And Jordan, would you have gone the same way?
Well, for me, I have a little bit of a hot take. So I am not a Titanic fan. I just I can appreciate it for what it is. Like, I do think that it has one of the best set pieces ever built for a movie. I mean, that replica of the ship they built was incredible, and the costume design. But I just think that there's a lot of cheesiness to me that just more of a personal thing that and it never really resonated with me. It wasn't really my type of movie. And I love Dances with Wolves. I've owned it. I've seen it probably 10 times. I love the relationships and the story and the soundtrack. You got the John Dunbar theme in there by John Barry, and I think that it's just an amazing movie. But I know that my vote doesn't count, but I wanted to show it a little bit of love, so I'll do that. But yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect. So Titanic goes through to the next round, and Jordan, we're gonna stick with yourself here, and again, 2 very different films.
Ooh.
We have Gladiator up against Crash.
Oh wow!
So actually, so every time that I'm asked to be on a show like this, I always pick one of my blind spots from the list and watch it. And I've never seen Crash before, and that movie was amazing. It's like that movie really blew me away. And for me, I kind of think that it's a little bit of the War Machine duel, because you have let's see, Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle in the movie, so they're on screen together, but overall, I thought it had a really awesome cast. It just it was a lot of fun. But I mean, how can you go against Gladiator? I think Gladiator, though, as much as I love Crash, I think Gladiator is one of the all-time greatest movies, and it's one of those ones that just inspires you to want to be a better person. For me, whenever I want to get really pumped up and just get inspired, I just always throw on Gladiator. So there's no way I can vote against Gladiator. But I mean, if Crash was going up against it, almost anything else, I'd vote for it. But I got to go with Gladiator. For sure.
Perfect. That's one for Gladiator. Steph, what about yourself?
Yeah. Again, they're very different. I think I'm gonna go Gladiator take. As well. Yeah, Crash, I'm gonna say same as Jordan on that. I don't really know what I could add to it from what Jordan said, but yeah, I'd give my vote to Gladiator. I think of the 2.
Okay, that's 2 for Gladiator. Rob, what about yourself?
Wow. Okay. Well, Crash is such an amazing film. You know, it's a hard like I'm going Gladiator. Gladiator wins.
that
But
was easy.
and
Yeah.
as Jordan said, if Crash was up against something else, it would probably win because it's such a good film. You know, you can't knock it, and it
I
shows.
did not enjoy it.
You know, even when we don't know it, realize it. There's a bit of racism in everybody. You know what I mean? And it's such a powerful film in a completely different way to Gladiator. But you know, Gladiator has to kind of get it. I think. Yeah, Gladiator.
Yeah.
Perfect. And Paige, yourself?
I mean, this one's an easy one for me. I love Gladiator. I think that's such a badass movie. But I will say I gotta give love to Brendan Fraser because I love that man and he's in Crash. Same with Sandra Bullock. But and of course you have Don Cheadle, so I can't go wrong there. But no, for me, Gladiator all day. So badass. I love that flick.
Yeah, Gladiator is one of my. It's probably in my top 20 films of all time. I love that film. So Gladiator for me is definitely 100% going through in that one there.
Probably Ridley Scott's
I'll
best
start
movie,
off
I would say.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that point. Not going to argue that point at all.
Alien, guys.
Next one.
I know that he did have Alien, so
Alien's great.
a little debate.
Alien's great, but
and The Martian.
I'm going to start this one off.
Yeah.
Thelma and Louise.
Okay.
Even though I don't think this film should, even though I don't think this film should have won the Oscar, I'm voting for it over Birdman. I think Forrest Gump is a better film than Birdman. Even though Shawshank Redemption 100% should have won that year. But Forrest Gump is it is a really good film, and Tom Hanks' performance was fantastic in it. And so my vote has to go for Forrest Gump. What about yourself, Jordan?
Yeah. So for me, I didn't even really like Birdman. Like I just thought it was cool how they did the one-shot take through the whole movie and stuff, but like it's just too meta for me, and just I don't know, I didn't really resonate with it. But Forrest Gump's one of my all-time favorite movies. That movie is in my top 20 of all time. I mean, there's I want to say that it went up against Shawshank Redemption, if I'm not mistaken, but so that was a pretty stacked Oscar year.
And Pulp Fiction, yeah.
And Pulp Fiction, yeah. So
Pulp Fiction's one of my favorite movies.
Really, any of those movies could have won, and I would have been totally happy because I mean, I love all those movies. But Forrest Gump is just one of my favorite movies. Like some reason the character really did resonate with me, and just like everything that he goes through, there's so many quotable lines. I mean, people say that like "Run, Forrest, run." Life is like a box of chocolates. I mean, even the score is great. So yeah, I got to give it to Forrest Gump.
Perfect. That's 2 for Forrest Gump. Steph, are you going the same way?
Yeah, I think so. So, like, I've nothing against Forrest Gump, right? Love Tom Hanks in pretty much anything he's done, and it's a good film. It's an interesting film. I'm happy to watch it if it's on. I don't think it should have won, the award over, the other films. I didn't realize Pulp Fiction. Like, was Pulp Fiction nominated that year, and it lost out to Forrest Gump?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same as Shawshank Redemption.
See, now I don't want to
craziness.
vote for it.
I mean, yeah, Tom Hanks deserved the Oscar for Best Actor, but I think Pulp Fiction should have won Best Film. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, given the category it's in, between that and Birdman, and can I just double check, right? So Birdman, I believe, is the film with Michael Keaton, Emma Stone, Edward Norton.
Yeah.
I've got the right film? Okay. I saw it one time, not all that long ago. And I love Michael Keaton. He's one of my absolute favorites. I really like Emma Stone. Edward Norton's usually like really watchable and everything he's in. And I really didn't know if I liked it or not. Like I kind of looked at my husband afterwards and was like, what did we just watch? Like I was like, I really don't
Yeah.
know how I feel
That's my
about it.
reaction.
So
That's how I felt
in the
too.
category,
Yeah.
yeah. In the category that it is Birdman versus Forrest Gump, I'm gonna go Forrest Gump, but I kind of like Forrest Gump a little bit less, knowing it lost out to Pulp Fiction as well as The Shawshank Redemption, because I'm like, what? Did they not see the other two films or what? But between that and Birdman, I'll go Forrest Gump.
Coming next week, biggest Oscar snubs, right?
Perfect. And I know.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yep.
Now, Rob, are you gonna let loose? Are you gonna let loose on Forrest Gump, or has it all
Well,
been
like,
said?
I love Forrest Gump. It's great crack. And as Jordan said, some of the lines are famous. You know, like we almost got killed one night because of you shouting out "Run, Forrest, run."
That's awesome.
I did.
Yeah, we did. We were on holidays, and a couple of guys ran by us. And he ran. So he was only a kid, and he shouted this out, and they came back looking for a fight. It was nuts. But I you know what? I thought Birdman was brilliantly filmed, but I didn't think it was a great film. I thought the acting was brilliant. I thought Michael Keaton was fabulous in it. It was really a comeback role for him. And I loved Edward. I always love Ed Norton anyway. He's generally brilliant, and he was fantastic in that as well. But like Forrest was just so much fun, and it was great crack. It didn't deserve to win the Oscar that year. Maybe other years, definitely it should have. It didn't deserve to win over Shawshank Redemption, which is probably one of the best movies ever made, in my opinion, anyway. So I'll give it to Forrest, but just because it is a good film, it just shouldn't have won that year. No, it just shouldn't have beaten Shawshank Redemption or Pulp Fiction, which is definitely up in my top 5.
Yeah.
I should say that year was just an amazing year for the Oscars.
I would say
they had those three
94 was a stacked year. I will say that, because like those 3 movies like are definitely in my like top 20 movies ever. So like,
yeah. Well, Tom Hanks definitely deserves the Oscar.
Which way would you have gone there,
100%.
Paige?
Forrest Gump all day, man. I must have drank me at least 15 Dr. Peppers, and I enjoyed every second of it. So, yeah, I mean, personally,
I gotta pay.
like everyone else said, personally, I think like Shawshank should have won or Pulp Fiction, but that year was a stacked year, and I think Tom Hanks' performance in that movie is phenomenal. So yeah, Forrest Gump.
Perfect. Okay.
Easy
And we're going to
peasy.
stick with yourself there, Paige, as well. And we have No Country for Old Men versus A Beautiful Mind.
Okay.
Good head scratcher for you.
It is. I'm trying to think. Personally, on this one, I'm kind of going on which film I enjoyed more, and I'm trying to think what other movies they were against. Beautiful Mind was Russell Crowe, correct? They can show him right on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
Okay. Bethany and his wife. What's her name?
I mean, personally, I like No Country for Old Men. I thought that was. It's not a is it? You guys wouldn't consider it a Western, right? No. No, definitely not a Western. I don't know why I said that. You know, that's
maybe a modern
set
Western.
in the West. Yeah, no, it's just set in the West. That's why.
I mean, a loose definition.
Yeah, I mean, the villain in that movie is just. I'm going. No Country for Old Men. There we go.
Perfect. Yeah, it's kind of a toss-up on this one for myself, and if I have to just choose one, it's because of Javier Bardem's. It is Javier Bardem. No comment.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
his performance, man.
His performance. That alone puts this movie over the top over A Beautiful Mind for myself. So
Same.
A Beautiful No Country would be The Country for Old Men is in the vote just for Javier Bardem. Jordan, what about yourself?
So I thought that the year that the No Country for Old Men got nominated and actually won the Oscar when it against the movie There Will Be Blood. So that was Daniel Day-Lewis going up against Javier Bardem. I thought those were two powerhouses going up against each other right there. But I mean, for some reason, No Country for Old Men never really resonated with me. Besides Javier Bardem, I think he's one of the most creepy and like scary villains like in any movie. But I mean, I got to give some love to A Beautiful Mind. Like I just thought that. Then like Russell Crowe, he did an amazing job just like portraying this guy with the disability that he had, but he was just so brilliant. Like I just thought that was great. So I'm gonna show some love for A Beautiful Mind. I'll vote Beautiful Mind.
Perfect. That's 2 votes to 1. Steph, what about yourself? Which way are you going here?
I'm gonna go with Jordan on this one as well. Neither film is like in my absolute top favorite categories. I enjoy them both. I particularly like Jennifer Connelly in everything she does. Like I'd watch that woman go grocery shopping, to be honest. Like, I just really Jennifer Connelly, happily watch her in anything. And Paul Bettany. And I'm not a huge Russell Crowe fan, but I like him in, like he's a fine actor, clearly. But he didn't put me off watching the film, which to me spoke volumes how much I must have enjoyed the film when I saw it. So I'm going to go Beautiful Mind.
Beautiful Mind. So Rob, you get to the final decision. Which one goes through? Is it No Country for Old Men or A Beautiful Mind?
Tiebreaker.
Okay, well, like, Beautiful Mind, I love it. It's Russell Crowe's great. Now I said Paul Bettany and Jennifer Connelly. I'd watch her in anything as well. I wouldn't watch her shopping because I'd get arrested. But I love the big reveal. The big reveal in that movie. It's pretty cool. It's been done a few times since, but like that was kind of one of the first times I've seen that being done. It was great.
Just think about the bad guy.
The Javier Bardem is probably the best thing for me about that movie, about No Country for Old Men. So I have to go with A Beautiful Mind because as much as No Country for Old Men is a great film, it was all about Javier Bardem for me. So, but I think that overall, Beautiful Mind was better for me. I enjoyed it more. So I'll go with that.
And nobody really talks about the rest of the cast in that movie. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He's such a standout.
Yeah.
From 2 votes down to 3 votes and going through. Beautiful Mind going through to the next round. And we'll start off with yourself here, Rob. And I already know where this one's going for you. It's Green Book versus the King's Speech.
Oh, no.
It's a pretty good comparison. Kind of.
Thank you. All right. Well, like obviously you do know the Green Book. That's been the best movie in the last 10 years for me. I've watched it about 10 times. I love it. I enjoy it every single time I watch it. I think they're both amazing in it. Mahershala Ali, amazing. He's just fabulous in it. Vigo, one of his best roles ever. And the whole story about like the Joey the Lip, like his son actually wrote the story and was produced it, I think, and was all involved in the making of the movie. It was great. I loved it. The King's Speech is one of my favorite films as well. and I was only talking about it earlier on. Like, it's such a simple story. It's about 2 guys, 2 friends, really. One of them happens to be the King of England, but you do away with that. It's just like it's a buddy movie. And if it was up against anything else, the King's Speech would win, but Green Book wins. It's just too good not to.
1 vote for Green Book there. Perfect. Okay. And Paige, what about yourself? Which way are you in this one?
Honestly,
Sorry,
for me, I mean, I thought Colin Firth was amazing in King's Speech. But for me, I'm going to go with the movie that I would tend to watch more and I enjoy more, which is Green Book. I think that movie is just more rewatchable than The King's Speech, so I'm going with Green Book.
Yeah, that's where my vote is going there as well. Green Book gets my vote. I remember the first time I saw it was over here. There's a cinema, Cineworld. Have these secret screenings, so we get our tickets for it, and they don't tell you what movie it is. And
Oh, that's cool.
off I went to it, and Green Book was the film, and
With
hadn't been
me.
released yet, so it was like a big surprise. It was the premiere of it, and like it was the first time anyone in
nice.
Ireland was really seeing it, and it was just blew me away. I thought the film was great, and I was delighted that it won the Oscar. So Green Book is definitely going through for me in this round, and that's the 3 votes, so it is going through. Jordan, would you vote the same way?
Well, I mean, this one's tough for me, but I mean, I kind of think maybe Green Book shouldn't have even won the Oscar, because if you look at what it was up against, so Green Book goes up against Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, Roma, A Star Is Born, and Vice. So I mean, that's a stacked Oscar list right there, and so for me, there's a couple of those that really could have won, and for me, the King's Speech for me is something that like is very personal to me, as someone who was actually born with a stutter, trying to do YouTube, trying to have a YouTube channel, but I have a hard time sometimes getting my words out, and so it's a movie that when I saw it, like I got pretty emotional, and it just like really resonated with me. Just imagine this king not being able to speak, but he's just put on the spot to just give all these speeches, and just the struggle he has to go through to be able to get these words out, and on the relationship that he has with Jeffrey Rush in the movie, I think was amazing, and like a lot of those things are actually true. Like when you get really upset and you start swearing and you get really passionate about something, you really don't stutter. Like it just goes away. Or when you sing, that's another time too. So like for me, like, well, and it's a true story too. And I think both of these are.
They're both true
Both
stories.
true stories.
Yeah.
Both true stories.
Yeah, so they're both true stories. So I mean, but for me, like just because the personal aspect that I have with the King's Speech, like I got to go with King's Speech. So
Of course,
Fair enough.
perfect. Just one for that, and then Steph, which way would you have gone on that?
I don't know, to be honest. Like I find that really, really tough. So to be honest with you, Green Book is going through anyway. So I'll say the King's Speech. So I feel I've given a bit of love to the King's Speech because I do enjoy it. But I mean, honestly, like I'm very happy
Well
to see
deserved.
one of them going through. You know, they're just great. So yeah.
Perfect.
Well
So
deserved,
that is
guys.
Green Book going through.
Hero Speech. There you go. I like that one.
Perfect. Next up, we have, and I think this one might actually be kind of a cakewalk. We're going to start off with yourself, Jordan, in any way. Actually, sorry, with Steph. Apologies. With Steph, we're starting off with yourself. Silence of the Lambs versus The English Patient.
Okay, so for me, this has to be Silence of the Lambs. I was only just talking to somebody about it the other day, and so I'm just going to sit down and rewatch because it's just epic performances all around. And just, even though I've seen it so many times, I just still feel that kind of real unsettled chill from Anthony Hopkins. It's just, it's like, honestly, I'm gonna have to just shut up now. It's one of my favorites. It's just so well done. The English Patient I really enjoy, don't get me wrong, but like Silence of the Lambs, there's just something about that. Every time I watch it, I'm just like, he's just so damn creepy. Like it's just such a good performance all around. I just love it, absolutely love it.
Perfect. Silence of the Lambs with one vote. Rob, what about yourself?
Yeah, well, like The English Patient was how would I describe it? An Oscar movie. You know, it was a real Oscar movie. It was very scenic. It was very slow moving. You know, it was a great film. But you know, I was what year was that out in? I was quite young, and 96. Not that young.
You weren't that young.
Wasn't that young? No, it just wasn't for me. But you can't beat Silence of the Lambs. You know, you know, that Anthony Hopkins is amazing in it, absolutely amazing, and he's the best thing about the prequel and the sequels, really.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, playing that role.
Definitely.
You know, it was Oscars
sure,
all around for them as well.
Silence
I
of the
think, wasn't
Lambs.
it? Did he win Best Actress as well?
I'm pretty sure it hit
It's one of
all
only
major
3 films.
Yeah. It hit all
Yeah,
top
one of only 3
top
films
winners.
to win all 5. Yeah.
Really, was it? Yeah. Well, it was well deserved. They were all brilliant in it.
Yeah.
And such a great film. So, and it still holds today. It's still pretty intense and a scary, great watch. Yeah, definitely Silence of the Lambs for me.
Perfect.
Yeah, this one's an
Paige, we've
easy
gone the same way.
one. Yeah, this is an easy one for me. Silence of the Lambs all day. I mean, like you already mentioned, it won the top 5 awards for the Oscars that year. And I mean, every time, I mean, I just recently watched The Father with Anthony Hopkins, and I'm just like, even though that movie is so sad and so touching, he still scares the shit out of me, no matter what, because of that performance in Silence of the Lambs. So, no matter what, Silence of the Lambs all day.
Yeah, perfect. As I said, this was one that I thought was going to do a nice, quick, clean sweep. Silence of the Lambs is one of the best films, definitely the Oscars have ever given the Oscar to. And as I said, one of the 3 films that have won all 5 top Oscars, and it's the last film to have done that as well. So it's
Exactly.
it's
The
not
horror movies
something
get no
that
love at the
happens
Oscars.
very often. It's not that happens very often, you know, that a film would get the big 5 wins. So yeah, no, that's definitely Silence of the Lambs going through for myself. And who was next there? Jordan. Yeah, sorry, apologies.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, like this one's easy. I had to go with Silence of the Lambs. Like it just like kind of like the last comment said. Like really the like Oscars generally doesn't give very much love to horror movies. Like for me, like Oscars, like my kind of like how I see it is it's just a bunch of like old white guys voting for a bunch of drama movies. So like they usually ignore most of other cinema. Not always. You get a few that will slip in from time to time. But so like I was really happy that they gave Silence of the Lambs some love, and it got a lot of love. They got nominated all the way around. And also, I kind of think that The English Patient, one of those movies I thought was kind of boring in it, and just really got in there because it didn't really have much competition that year. I mean, if you look at the other movies that it went up against, I mean, really the only other one that's even worth mentioning is probably Fargo. I mean, it went up against Jerry Maguire and like Shine and like some other movies like that. And just really, I mean, so like it was an easy walk for the. Yeah, but I do feel like the English Patient kind of had an easy walk to the Oscars, whereas Silence of the Lambs didn't as much, and for a horror movie to get that much love, and also Hannibal Lecter's probably like in the top 10, if not top 5 greatest horror villains of all time. So I got to go Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. That's a clean sweep there. And we'll start with yourself here, Jordan, on this one. Again, we have $1 Million Baby against Chicago.
All right. So for me, this is an easy one for anyone that knows me. I'm not really into musicals, really. Like I mean, like a handful, but not very many. And really, Chicago was never really one of them that really hit with me. But I love a good boxing movie. I thought Clint Eastwood did an amazing job, and just the story, the performances were brilliant. So I got to go with $1 Million Baby all day. That's easy for me.
Perfect. And Steph?
Yeah, I'd go $1 Million Baby, to be honest. There's not an awful lot I could really say about either film. Like, I like both films. I don't particularly love either film. So between the two,
Swank.
Clint Eastwood and Hilary Swank, like, yeah, you know, happy to put my vote in for $1 Million Baby between the two, really.
Perfect. And Rob, yourself?
I love Chicago. Chicago wins it for me, to be honest. Yeah, I do. I love musicals in anyway, and to see what's his name, Richard Gere singing and dancing, mainly dancing. It's great. I loved it. You know, it was a great cast. It was great to. Renee Zellweger was great. Catherine Zeta-Jones was brilliant. Queen Latifah, I thought, was fabulous in it. But Richard Gere, I love watching that man dance for some reason. He's in another dance movie with Shall We Dance, it's called. And I just love it. It's one of my favorite films. I've watched it numerous times. So, yeah, Chicago wins for me. I never really watched $1 Million Baby, mainly because I'm not the biggest horror fan, and I know it's not gory or anything, but the thought of what she does to herself at the end, it just turned me off watching the rest of the movie. So I've never watched it.
It's pretty brutal, yeah.
Yeah.
It is brutal, very brutal.
I know
Paige,
$1 Million Baby is probably a better film, but Chicago gets me.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, if any of you guys have watched the free for all, I got it. I was in the free for all, and I got a question about $1 Million Baby, and I got it wrong. So shame on me because I love this movie. So yeah, that's embarrassing. So for me, I'm going on $1 Million Baby. I mean, I think Hilary Swank, Morgan Freeman, and Clint Eastwood were all phenomenal in that movie. The ending obviously is, spoiler alert of what happens, is very like sad. But the movie is just, it's one of those movies everyone definitely needs.
It's old enough you can spoil it.
Yeah, that's very true. She kills herself. Unfortunately. But no, amazing movie though, overall. And if you love sports, then you should definitely watch this movie. If you love boxing, I should say.
I'll take it back to those video game movies.
Yeah.
Episode.
Perfect. Myself, $1 Million Baby. The last comment, of course. One of the last times Rob was on, we were on the video game, best video game movies, and every time it got to like the semi-finals, I think Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back was included, and Rob voted against it every time.
Which one?
The Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's
right there with you.
That's a personal thing. What can I say? I had to sit through that movie 5 times.
Yeah, but
it's awful.
Yeah, $1 Million Baby anyway for me is going through. That's definitely the one going through, and that mix up. And next one is a bit more difficult, and I'm not even going to give a reasoning for it. I'm just going to give my vote, and I'll move it on to Jordan. I'm voting 12 Years a Slave here over Braveheart. It's a very hard decision, but Jordan, I'm going to give that on to you.
Man, yeah, this one's they're like two different movies, but they have some kind of little small parallels if you really think deep. But I mean, yeah, gosh, like I feel like any other time I would have given it to Braveheart. Man, this is just yeah, I think I got to go 12 Years a Slave, and like I can't believe those words are even coming out of my mouth. But yeah, I mean, the movie was just brilliant. The movie was just amazing, and just just like seeing what all the people went through, and just seeing Michael Fassbender's performance too. He was great in that, and Lupita Nyong'o, she was brilliant. So I mean, yeah, I got to go 12 Years a Slave. So
perfect. Okay, that's 2 votes there. Steph, which way are you on?
Yeah, I'd also go 12 Years a Slave. I'll be honest, this is unpopular opinion. Like, Braveheart is a great, great film, but it's not one I'd kind of go, oh yeah, come on, let's put on Braveheart and watch it. Like, I think I've seen it probably twice and not in a very long time. It just wasn't one I was really I did not like it. I don't know why. I just wasn't like overly fussed on it, even though I can appreciate that it's a top class film. I just wouldn't kind of go to watch it. Whereas 12 Years a Slave has obviously made it, more of an impact on me or something. So, I mean, two great films, but I'll go 12 Years a Slave.
Perfect. That's 3 votes for 12 Years a Slave, so it is going through. But Rob, which way would you have gone?
Braveheart is a great film. I'm very tempted to go Braveheart, but
I was the same
12
way.
Years a Slave is, it's a hard watch because it's so real, and the acting is so good in it. Chetwell Ejiofor is amazing.
Yeah,
he does amazing in it. Fassbender, I thought is like he's so horrible. You know what I mean? And Lupita Nyong'o is amazing. But I love Braveheart, but no, it has to go to 12 Years a Slave. It is a far superior film. It's a superior film to most films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Braveheart, and it was no. 12 Years a Slave.
Perfect. Okay. And Paige, we'll finish this one off with yourself.
For me, honestly, I'm going with which is the better film overall, which was 12 Years a Slave. I thought it is like you said, Rob, it is a very, very hard watch, but it is so real, and that's a story that needs to be told sometimes. And I think it was a great movie. So that's my pick. Perfect.
And we'll start this one off with yourself as well. And I think I may which one you're going with. Just out of random guess. It's The Departed against Unforgiven.
Well, this one's an easy one for me, guys. The Departed all day, every day. I mean, I love Scorsese. You got Leo. You got Jack Nicholson. So, yeah, man. All day, every day, The Departed.
And you got
Perfect.
Mark Wahlberg, a fellow one from Boston.
Yeah, you got Mark Wahlberg. You got Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Everyone from Boston's in that movie. So, yes.
Yeah, the Departed is definitely one for me as well. That's the one that's going through. I thought it was a great film. Twists and turns the whole way through the film. It was just a great film myself. So that's what I'm voting for there. Yourself, Jordan?
Yeah. So, I think I gotta go with The Departed too. I mean, I will say that like I don't know if I would vote for The Departed every time, but against Unforgiven, I probably would. I mean, Unforgiven is probably one of the most brutal westerns I've ever seen. Like it's just like a hard watch. That like Well, so like I made the mistake of watching the movie Young Guns with my sibling. That one's lighthearted. That one's fun. And then afterwards, we're like, let's put on another Western, Unforgiven. And we're like, whoa, a totally different tone. Like, so yeah, but against Unforgiven, I got to go with the Departed. You have a powerhouse cast. You have Martin Scorsese behind it, and yeah, I got to go with The Departed.
Good choice.
Perfect. Yourself.
So Unforgiven is another one that I do generally love it. It's very hard to watch, but it's another one that Christmas morning I will stick on Unforgiven. No, I'm joking, but like it's so good. But honestly,
Right.
Come on, kids! Here's a Western for you. Watch this.
Yeah,
but
right.
like between the two, I love The Departed. I absolutely love that film. And I'm kind of tempted to watch it tomorrow now because I'm going to fall asleep before I can watch it tonight. So, but you kind of put it into my head now to go and watch it again. It's such a good cast. It's such a good story. The performances all around are just superb. Like, so yeah, I think it's got to be The Departed between the two for me. As much as I love Unforgiven on Christmas Day, it's going to be The Departed. Yeah.
Perfect. And yourself, is it a clean sweep for The Departed?
It's a no-brainer. Definitely, The Departed. Unforgiven is a great Great, hard watch, as Steph said, but it's Unforgiven wins. It's hands down one of the better movies, one of the better Oscar winners, I think.
Perfect.
Great cast. Nicholson was amazing, and the two lads, yeah,
Great.
you know, Boston.
So
Yay.
with
Good choice, everyone. I love you all now. You guys
Clean
all hold a
sweep.
special place in my heart now.
Great soundtrack as well. Love the soundtrack.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yep, for sure.
Fantastic. Yeah.
with that's
Well,
all
it's a
32
remake of
films.
a
Haven't gotten
Japanese
voted
movie or
for.
something.
Yeah, it is. Yep, it is a remake. A lot of people think the movie is about Whitey Bulger, but it's not. I mean, they use Jack Nicholson's character as someone like Whitey Bulger, but it's
Yeah.
not really Whitey Bulger. It's based off a Japanese film.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Fun fact for you all.
Perfect. There we go. That's all 32 films gone through there. So we're starting the next round here now. Rob, you get the hard decision of eliminating or starting to vote on Lord of the Rings: Return of the King against Rain Man.
Fuck.
It's a tough one.
A wafter down and out there. Okay, all right. Look, Rain Man. It's Oscar winners, right? That's what we're picking on this. So I'll give it. I have to give it to Rain Man because Lord of the Rings. I love. I only watched the three of them recently, but I honestly feel that like the Return of the King was probably the second best of the trilogy.
Yep.
And I think it was they were given the Oscars because of what the trilogy represented, you know, and everything about the whole trilogy of movies. They didn't give it to Return of the King as a standalone movie. In my heart, that's how I feel about it.
Mhm.
So I think Rain Man has to get through in this because it was a far better film than Return of the King. But the Lord of the Rings trilogy is amazing. And if it was the three movies, I'd give it to that. But Rain Man wins.
Okay.
All right.
One vote for Rain there. Paige, what will win this one?
Oh shit! It's my turn. I thought it was Steph's turn for some reason. Oh man, I mean, this one's a hard one because, like, the trilogy itself of Lord of the Rings it's one of the best trilogies ever created.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like they did just give it to it because of the success and the greatness of the three films overall. I mean, which one movie would I rather watch more? Probably Lord of the Rings, but I overall think Rain Man's a better film, so I'm going with Rain Man.
Perfect. That's 2 for Rain Man. Oh, I don't know what to vote there. It's really tough. It is. It's actually it's a really tough one to do. One, Rain Man is probably the better film, but 100 times out of 100, I'm gonna sit down and watch Lord of the Rings: Return of the King over Rain Man. And it is a tough one. I know, as I said earlier on, Lord of the Rings holds the distinction of being the only Oscar winner on this list and ever to have won without getting any or acting nominations whatsoever. I'm not going to be the bad guy. I'm going to vote Lord of the Rings and let someone else make the decision. So Jordan, it's up to you.
All right. Well, it's up to one of us. Let's see. Yeah, I think probably I gotta go with Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, just because. Yeah, like probably in the past 10 years, I've watched Return of the King at least probably once a year. Like I watch it quite often. And Rain Man, I haven't watched it since like late 90s maybe. So I mean, it's not really one that I really throw on too often. I mean, it's a great movie, but yeah, I gotta go with Return of the King.
It's all on
Okay,
you
that's
now,
2 votes
Steph.
each. So Steph, it comes down to you.
You get
I'll be the
pleasure
bad
of
guy
deciding
then,
this.
Carl. It's okay. So, like, I personally, I agree with what's been said before, and Rob kind of specifically said it, that, like, I think the Oscar kind of went to the trilogy rather than that one specific film, which is fine. But I think Return of the King is great cinema, but in terms of the better film and therefore technically more deserving of the Oscar, I would have to go Rain Man. So there you go.
Okay,
That's like kind of
Rain
an
Man
upset almost.
vote. I expected. I think it is. I was expecting Lord of the Rings to go quite far in this.
Yeah.
So Lord of the Rings out. And Steph, while we have you there,
Lord of the Rings trilogy, yeah. Not the last movie.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I was actually going to put this to Steph, but I realized from the previous conversations these are 2 films you haven't seen. So I'm going to throw it to Rob, you first, because it's The Hurt Locker against Parasite.
For me, it's a no-brainer for this one again. It's Parasite. I'm not big into war movies. I think Jeremy Renner is great, and I think this is his big break. I think before that, I think I saw him on Angel or something. Didn't really see him on much else. So that was kind of his big break, but yeah, no, Parasite just wins hands down. Like, if you haven't seen Parasite, it's hard to describe it. It's just one of those movies you just should see.
Yeah,
you know, it's so.
I will
can't
watch
compare
it.
it to anything else.
The ending too. What?
Yeah, like oh yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a good movie, and it's a bit of a FU ending as well, you know, which
Oh, definitely.
I kind of loved every now and again. So yeah, it's a great film.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Parasite.
Paige, what about you?
For me, honestly, I'm gonna go Parasite on this one. Because what is war good for? Absolutely nothing. And Parasite is definitely a must see. Because I said it earlier, it's about class and structure, and that's what a lot of Bong Joon-ho movies are about, anyways. So I mean, I think this is one of his movies that you have to see.
100%. Yeah, my vote is actually for Parasite too.
Even down to the scenery, its structure and class. It's amazing film.
It really is, and like just seeing him so happy last year when he won all those awards,
yes,
happiest man in the
exactly.
world, and it was such a feel good moment seeing him win all those awards. It was brilliant, and he didn't expect it any time at all.
Just so
but
that's what made it more rewarding.
The movie itself, literally. It did. The movie itself was just out of this world as well. So that my vote's going to that. As much as I enjoyed Hurt Locker, I don't even think it should have won that year. That it was it shouldn't have won that Oscar that year. It was out the same year as Avatar, and as much as the problems as probably I thought Avatar was a better film than it. So I'm definitely going with Parasite there. What about yourself, Jordan?
Well, so when I think about these 2 movies, I think about recommending them to people that I know. Like I would think like is The Hurt Locker a must see movie? Probably not. But is Parasite a must see movie? Absolutely, yes. It's an absolute must see movie. I think everyone needs to see it, and like kind of like you said, seeing them celebrate at the Oscars, they're just so happy, just at all the after parties and everything. They're just having the time of their life, just so happy to be able to win so many different awards. And yeah, I got to go with Parasite. And Parasite has so many different elements. I mean, you like feel pretty much every emotion. You feel happy, you feel sad, you feel scared. You have some definite elements horror in it, and then you even have some like really good tension in there. You just have like I thought it was like a near masterpiece. So gotta go with Parasite.
Perfect. That's Parasite going through. I won't put you through the torturous decision instead of having to vote for one of them.
Yeah,
It's already gone through.
that's fine. I
Yeah.
promise I will go watch Parasite after tonight. I will go watch.
Got it.
True.
I think it might be on Netflix or Amazon or one of them in Ireland and UK.
No, we
it's
have
on one
it.
of them anyway.
We
I'm not
have it,
entirely
yeah.
sure which one. Oh, you have it.
Someone
well, then
someone
you have no
gifted it to my
excuse.
husband on Blu-ray or something for Christmas. So like he was like, "Come on, we want," and I was like, "Oh, just I don't." I'm still hurt over the Irishman. I can't bring myself, but that's going back. Yeah. I will watch it. I'll stop holding a grudge and I'll go watch it.
Perfect. So we'll start this one off with yourself there then, Steph. It is Spotlight up against Slumdog Millionaire.
For me, I'd have to go Spotlight. Personally, I just thought it was the better of the two films, and yeah, I don't think there's anything more I can kind of say on them than I did the previous round. But yeah, Spotlight for me.
Perfect. Okay, that's one for Spotlight. Rob, yourself?
Same for me. Spotlight. Yeah, such a great movie. Everybody was fabulous in it. As I said, I haven't really seen Slumdog Millionaire, so Spotlight wins it there for me. It's an easy choice.
Perfect. Paige, would you have gone the same way?
Yeah, Spotlight all day. I mean, I can't go vote against my Boston movies, and it's a true story, and it's just an overall great film. I mean, I love both of them, both films, but Spotlight for me.
Perfect. I'm voting. There's nothing against Slumdog Millionaire at all. It is a really good film, but Spotlight, of the 32 films that we're talking about, Spotlight is definitely up there for one of the best. So
For some
Spotlight
reason,
for
I
me
can
has to go
still
through.
I can't get over that scene when they show up at the priest store, and he just like, and then just like, I think
Oh
it's
my
Rachel
God.
McAdams just goes to talk to him, and he just like blames like, "Yep, I did all these horrible things," and we're just like, "Whoa!" Like, all right, like, wasn't expecting
And
that to come out so
He doesn't
easy.
see, and he doesn't see anything wrong with it as well.
Yeah, that's what
it's
it's why
just
it's it's crazy.
absolute madness.
Yeah.
And would you have gone the same way there yourself, Jordan?
Oh yeah, I'd probably go the same way. Like I've only seen Spotlight one time, but it's definitely one that I want to try to revisit sometime. But yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about it. But
It's a hard watch, though. It's a
That would-
very hard watch.
I
It
mean,
is a
yeah,
hard
the
watch,
premise
yeah.
of it is, yeah,
yeah,
it's a great film.
probably mostly watch it because my wife hasn't seen it, so I'll go watch it with her. But yeah, I'll go with Spotlight.
Yeah, but the acting is so
Perfect.
good in it.
That's
It takes
sweet
away from
there.
the horror of it. I think
Yeah.
it's so enjoyable watching
It really does.
everybody in it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You know, that it just takes away from the horror of the situation of what it's about. You know, it's such a good film. It is disturbing, and like, you know, we're Irish, we know all about the priests. But,
I shouldn't be laughing at that.
But right, sure.
but yeah,
Just the
no,
way
moving
that was like,
swiftly
I know
on.
all about it.
we know all about the priests.
Moving swiftly on to the next match. Jordan,
Ooh.
Schindler's List or Titanic?
Well, I think people already know my vote. I'm not a huge Titanic fan. I just thought that it's like pretty overrated to be the #1 movie of all time, like at the box office for so many years. I just don't really get it. I mean, I can acknowledge that it's great. And I've even been to the Titanic exhibit at in Las Vegas, where they take you down, like make you feel like you're actually in the actual Titanic, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I got to go with Schindler's List though. That movie it's just so good. Just like blows me away. And I've only seen it once. I imagine I'll watch it at some point in my life. I don't know when because it's such a hard watch. But But yeah, I'm gonna go Schindler's List.
It's another one that you can't watch many times.
No,
Yeah.
you
I've only
can't.
seen it once, and I plan
Yes.
never to go back to it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Steph, what about yourself?
Oh man. Like Titanic is so enjoyable and so sad at the same time. And I'm not known for being the most emotional person when I watch a film. And so, compared to my husband who'd be like, oh, I feel, do you not feel something from this? And I'm like, no, it's acting. Pretty good acting. What's wrong with you? Like, so Titanic is one of the very I'm such a warm, cuddly person by nature, as you can tell. But like Titanic, genuinely, like I watch it, and I don't know if it's just because it is so long, and I'm so fatigued by the end of it that I'm just more emotional than I normally would be. Like, but like genuinely, the performances are just so good, and that's not to take away from Schindler's List, which is just in a different way a brilliant, brilliant film. They're just very different. So I don't know. I think. Yeah, maybe I'm going to say Titanic just because of the effect that it does have on me when I do watch it, that I do kind of just feel like, oh man, like it's just, I can't even talk about it, Carl. I'll put my vote, I'll put my vote in and leave it at that. It's a hard one though, but I'll say Titanic.
It is.
I just really want to see
Rob,
Schindler's
what
List
about
go up
yourself?
against 12 Years a Slave because they're two of the hardest movies to watch. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
True.
Yeah.
Titanic is fabulous. Like we have an exhibition up north here where Titanic was built here, and you can go in and see all
cool.
the building and all that type of stuff. Like it's great. I love it. Cameron made a fabulous movie, as you said about the set pieces and everything else. It was
exactly
fabulous. Like, it was a beautiful film to watch. The acting, I thought, was pretty good. Like, it was. They threw this love story in amongst it all. It was a great film. I loved it. I went to see it 3 times, to be honest. Like, I really enjoyed the film. But Schindler's List is a better film, and we're trying to pick the best of the Oscar movie. So I'd have to go with Schindler. I do love Titanic,
Okay, that's two.
I'll never watch Schindler's List again, and I will watch Titanic again, but Schindler's has to.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean though. Yeah.
Perfect. And Paige, what way are you going here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on the same page with Rob. Like, personally, I like Titanic more. I would rather watch Titanic over Schindler's List any day of the week, even though it's a very long film. And it's definitely a more enjoyable film than Schindler's List. But at the end of the day, we are picking the best Oscar winners. And I do think Schindler's List is a better film. So my pick is Schindler's List.
Vote for Schindler's. Perfect. So Schindler's is going through the next round. Yeah, I'll throw in my vote for Schindler's as well. But it's, again, echo the same sentiments as everybody. It's not one that I'm going to watch again. It's just such a difficult
Never
movie
will
to
see
watch.
it again.
Even the thoughts of having to go back to watch it. Yeah, exactly. So it's just not one that
Ask
will
me
be
again.
on repeat anyway.
Yeah.
Ask me again on December 26th when I watched it Christmas Day, and I might change my vote.
I'm gonna remember to ask you how it was.
Is it a marathon?
Yep.
A marathon step of Schindler's List and Unforgiven. That's a great old Christmas for you.
There you go. Yep.
Those are great ones to show the children too.
Yep.
My youngest will be
guy.
so yeah. Perfect.
New
Sit here,
Christmas
open
morning
your presents, watch for Unforgiven.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
Building new traditions. All right.
Next up, I'm going to start voting here, and my lord, is this a difficult one for me. It's Gladiator up against Forrest Gump. Very, very difficult one. 2 amazing acting performances, both from Tom Hanks and from Russell Crowe. And it's 2 very, very completely different films. But if I really again, I think they're on par as how good they are, both films. So I'm just gonna have to vote for the film that I prefer to watch, and that would have to be Gladiator. Um, yeah, my vote's going for Gladiator there. What about yourself, Jordan?
Yeah, so this one's tough. Like they're two of my favorite movies of all time. So, but I think for me, I think Forrest Gump for me just edges it out just a little bit. Like just all the performances, the cast. I mean, you could say exactly the same thing about Gladiator, but I think it just edges out just a little bit, and I do feel like there's a little more substance, and I do feel like there are some slow parts in Gladiator where just kind of like a lot of dialogue and him walking through the desert or whatever he's doing. So yeah, I gotta go with Forrest Gump.
That's 1-1 there. What about yourself, Steph? Which way are you going on this one?
Yeah, that's kind of hard. Kind of echoing what you said, Carl. That like they're probably on par. I think in terms of the quality of the story and the overall like production of the film. So for me personally, I prefer Tom Hanks over Russell Crowe. I'm probably going to say Forrest Gump in that regard, because otherwise I'd be here all night nitpicking at the two, like, you know. So yeah, I'll go Forrest Gump.
Yeah, they're just very small nitpicks, you know.
Yeah. But
Perfect.
both class ones, like, yeah.
Perfect. And Rob, what way are you going on this one yourself?
Well, you know, as we all kind of revealed, we do have a little beef against Forrest Gump. I do love Forrest Gump, but Gladiator for me was amazing. You know, Russell Crowe was great in it. You know, I love watching the movie. I love finding mistakes in the movie. There's a great little scene where he's walking through the crowd and you can see a guy backing off wearing a jumper and a pair of jeans. Oh, wow. He's just backing out of the scene. There's loads of lovely little mistakes in it. It's great. Joaquin Phoenix was, you know, that got him.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Out there, that was like his standout kind of movie for me, you know, like, and you know, now he's off making the Joker and things like that, which was like, he was fabulous in it. Well, like that was the standout movie for me. He stole the show. Russell Crowe was great, but Joaquin was absolutely amazing. Oliver Reed died making the film. It was, yeah, no, Gladiator wins it for me, I think. Yeah, as much as I hate to see Forrest out of it, I don't know if Forrest is going out of this one, but Gladiator wins in my opinion.
Right.
Oh, I think it's 2-2 right now, right?
Well, that's all. It's all down. It is. It's all down to you, Paige.
Oh, Paige.
All
What are we
right.
going to do?
So, I mean, two completely different types of films. I think they both are amazing films. Like you guys said, they are pretty like up there and top notch of amazing films. So it is kind of hard. It's kind of which one do you enjoy more, kind of in a sense. Do you go with Ridley Scott or do you go with Rob Zemeckis? So it's just like, which one do I choose in a sense? And you have two amazing lead performances in it as well. But for me, even though I don't think Forrest Gump should have won that year over the other movies that it was nominated against, like, I don't know, Forrest Gump holds a special place in my heart. I think it's such a cute, amazing, like, heartfelt movie. So, and I can watch that movie any day of the week. So for myself, I am going with Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump beating Maximus Meridius and going through to the next round.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so Paige, I'm going to stick with yourself. We have A Beautiful Mind.
I'm going to take this one short and sweet, and I'm actually going to go, which one I think is the better film is A Beautiful Mind. So that's my pick.
Perfect. That's one for A Beautiful Mind. Again, I'll do the same as yourself, and I'll go short and sweet, but I'm going with Green Book. Green Book was a beautiful film, and I'm going to vote that through to the next round. So, Jordan, what about yourself there?
Well, I'll keep it short too. So I'm gonna go with The Beautiful Mind. Just I thought Green Book was kind of like a road trip movie that isn't quite as on par. So
Perfect. Okay. Even the chat seems to be split there. It's one's green. Some people are Green Book. Some people are Beautiful Mind. So it is a difficult one. Steph,
the
which
rounds
way
that
are
get
you going to
tough.
go?
Exactly.
I'll jump on the bandwagon. I'll keep it short and sweet. I'll say Green Book. Between the two.
So I know which one's. I
And
know
we
what's
all
going
know
through here
Rob's
now.
pick.
So Rob.
All right.
Oh, thanks.
Whatever would you say, Rob?
Oh, thanks. Definitely Green Book. Yeah,
So maybe he'll surprise us. No.
Yeah. It is brilliant though. Like it is brilliant, guys. I understand where you can say it's a kind of like a buddy movie, and like it was up against like it was the same with like what was it up against? The King's Speech. That's kind of like a buddy movie too. So like there were similar things.
True.
But yeah, no, Green Book. I
earlier
keep
on.
going back
Yes,
to it.
earlier on.
It's just brilliant. I just love it. I just love it. And I love the idea of as I said, the way the whole thing is made and the son is involved in it. And I just
I'm
love
happy
it.
with it going on. I don't mind.
Yeah, good movie.
Perfect. Okay, so Rob, will stick with yourself there, and your choice is Silence of the Lambs against $1 Million Baby.
Oh, okay. Well, Science of the Lambs. I was there. Baby is not for me. But Science of the Lambs is brilliant. Like it is just brilliant. The performances are brilliant. The story is brilliant. I've never seen a movie that it's almost word for word to the book. It's just done so well. It really is. It's brilliant.
And isn't it like Anthony Hopkins only has something like 16 minutes screen time or something throughout the whole film, and he carries such an aura in it that you think he's in it for so much more of it, but it's for such a short period of time he's actually in the movie for.
Has anyone seen the original Manhunter? The original what was the third movie? What was the third Hannibal Lecter movie made? Red
I know
Dragon.
the one.
Red Dragon.
Red
Okay,
Dragon.
yeah.
The original Red
that,
Dragon was called Manhunter. It had Brian Cox playing Hannibal Lecter. And he wasn't anyway as charismatic. I love Brian Cox. He's such a good actor. But he wasn't anywhere as charismatic as Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs. So yeah, Silence of the Lambs gets through for me.
And Paige, what way are you voting there?
This is an easy one for me. Silence of the Lambs. It won all 5 major awards, and we're going with the best Oscar films, and I think this one is it. So.
Yeah, perfect. I think it's going to be pretty much the same way all the way around here. I'm voting Silence of the Lambs as well. I just think it's a better film. $1 Million Baby, on any way you look at it, really. So that's where I'm voting. Jordan, what about?
Yeah, this one's easy. I had to go with Silence of the Lambs. But I do remember when I was a kid that my parents owned Silence of the Lambs on VHS, and the cover always freaked me out. I think it has like a moth on it or something up to the guy's face or something. But as a real little kid, just like seeing that image just freaked me out. So yeah, just from an image.
And the actual picture of the skull on the moth is actually 6 naked women.
Oh really?
Put together to make up the shape of the skull. Have a look at it next time you see it. It's 6 naked women.
Take a closer look.
It's pretty cool. Seemingly, it's taken from a portrait from Picasso or something.
Okay.
Perfect. And Steph, what about yourself?
$1 Million Baby. No, clearly Silence of the Lambs. No contest.
Okay, so going through to the next round.
With that, we kick off Steph.
Steph will start. Yes, kicking off here with Steph. We have 12 Years a Slave versus The Departed.
Good accent.
So, like,
The
here's
Departed.
the thing, right? The Departed. I'm not even going to try and do this. I've got Boston people here. I'm just going to keep emotional.
I'd like to hear it.
It doesn't feel right doing it.
No,
from
you
Boston.
wouldn't.
Just, you don't want to hear me do you guys' accents.
So, honestly, of the two, The Departed is just, it's so epic. It's just so epic. And given the category that we're in, I'm trying to weigh up like what really is kind of the story that needs to be told that's deserving of the Oscar over the other, you know? And I think I'm gonna have to say 12 Years a Slave, and that kind of slightly kills me. I'm not gonna lie, because The Departed is one of my all-time favorites. I love everyone in that film. I love the soundtrack. I love the story. I just love everything about that film. Do you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna say The Departed. I'm sorry. Even if it's not the better of the two
I
stories.
love you even more, stuff.
So The Departed. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Vote in
Vote
before
for
I change my
Departed
mind.
there.
Yeah.
And Rob, yourself?
It's a tough one. I could listen to the Boston accent for hours. It's so cool. 12 Years a Slave. It's such a good movie, and the acting is so good. But it's a real, again, it's an Oscar movie, isn't it? You know, it has these, 5-minute scenes of the pain and agony in his face, just before he breaks his guitar, and it's one of those movies that it's an Oscar movie, but The Departed is it's great. It's a great gritty kind of movie with a lot of surprises. There's no surprises in 12 Years. It's what you're going to get. Even from the title, So I'll give it to The Departed.
Yeah.
It's going to have to go at some stage 12 Years, because I don't want it to win. So I'll give it to The Departed.
Like, I'll take the opportunity now.
At least it's going out to a great. If it's going out, it's going out to a great movie.
Boston Rob, just like Poker said in the chat. Right?
Well, guys, this is obviously an easy
Boston
one
Rob.
for me. So yeah, let's go The Departed by 12 Years a Slave. Sorry.
Yeah, to be honest, it's. I think this might end up being a complete clean sweep. I'm going to The Departed as well. As much as I really enjoyed both films, the performance in 12 Years a Slave was Lupita Nyong'o, and if I'm trying to compare her performances to anyone in The Departed, the performance in The Departed I think were, if on keel, if not better. So definitely The Departed is going through for me in that aspect. So Jordan, would it be a clean sweep?
Well, so I think I got to give a little bit of love to 12 Years a Slave. Like, I would have voted for it just because I want to see it go up against Schindler's List, but that matchup's not going to happen. But like, I just want to see two movies that are hard to watch go, just to kind of see what the responses would have been. But yeah, I love all the performance in both movies all around. But like, just the more that I think about it, like as this episode's gone on, I'm just kind of thinking it in my head about 12 Years a Slave, and like that movie, like it's just an amazing movie. Just thinking about the performance Chiwetel Ejiofor gives in that movie is just like incredible. So yeah, I gotta go 12 Years a Slave. I know it's not going through, but I'll give it some love.
Perfect. I'm glad I got a vote there anyway, because it definitely deserves it. It is a phenomenal film. But while we're with you here, then Jordan, we're going into the next round, and we're going to kick it off with the oldest film remaining on the list against the latest film list.
Right.
Rain Man against Parasite.
This one's pretty easy for me. I got to go with Parasite. Like,
and what?
Well, for as much as I love Rain Man, like I think Rain Man's great, but like Dustin Hoffman, like that performance was amazing. But I mean, I think the like Parasite all around, the entire cast, the entire like everything about that movie from start to finish is just incredible. But when you think about Rain Man, I mean, Tom Cruise is in it, but I don't even think Tom Cruise really gives that an Oscar-worthy performance. It's only Dustin Hoffman for me, and so yeah, I got to go with Parasite.
Parasite with 1 vote. Steph, I'm guessing you're voting for Rain Man, but did we have a confirmation there?
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, I will watch Parasite. I will, and I'll watch it with an open mind, and I'll put The Irishman and Joker and all them out of my head that didn't win as many as they should have done, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, Rain Man is an awesome movie, nonetheless. You know, so I'll go Rain Man.
Perfect. That's 1 vote each. Rob, what about yourself?
It's a tough one for me. I like Parasite. I thought was brilliant and different. You know, I'd never seen sorry, where was it from? South Korean or something, or
Yes, from Korea.
I think it was a Korean movie. And I'd never seen the movie from there. And the director was brilliant. I loved it. I loved the whole imagery of it. I loved the story. I loved how it ended. It was great, but I'm gonna vote Rain Man. I really loved Rain Man.
Okay.
It has more meaning to me. I really enjoyed Rain Man. Dustin Hoffman was stunning in it. You know, I can't say anything about the actors in Parasite. They're all great, but I don't know them, and I didn't. I wouldn't know any of them if I saw them in anything else again. You know, where I think Dustin Hoffman was just amazing in that. Tom Cruise was great, but Hoffman stole the show. So yeah, no, it was for me. Rain Man was up there as one of the better Oscar movies to win. So I'll give it to Rain Man.
Perfect. 2 for Rain Man. Paige, what about yourself? What way are you voting on this one?
Honestly, I really do love Rain Man. I think that's a great film. I really do enjoy it a lot. But for me, when it comes to what Parasite represents as a whole, I mean, I've already said this several times since we've already talked about it, but the film is about class and structure within society, and I think those are the types of films with with deep messages like that. I think need to be told in the world, and I mean, you know, the ending is bonkers, but I definitely think for me, Parasite. So
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as yourself, Paige. Parasite. I know it's going really far in this, and it's one that you're going to have to vote against all the time. But it's Parasite is just an amazing film. It was my favorite film of last year that came out.
Just the mess,
or
like
release date in Ireland. I think
yeah.
it came out the year before in the
Yeah.
States. It was just unbelievable. I was kind of the feeling I had at the end of the film stayed a couple of days, and it's just a brilliant film. So Rain Man, although it was great, I unfortunately have to vote it out of this round. And Jordan, we're going to start this one out for you because you were asking. You were asking for 2 films that were really, really hard to watch,
Right.
and see how they go up against each other. Well, we have it.
Yeah, we did.
We have it here. It's
Oh, there you go.
Spotlight against Schindler's List.
Well, those
There
are
you go.
both
There's your nice and hard film.
Yeah, right. Those are both tough to watch, but I think I got to give it to Schindler's List just because when Spotlight, kind of like Rob said before, that like the acting in it kind of like makes the focus not so much on the like horrible things that are that are happening makes it a little easier to watch. Where Schindler's List has incredible performance, but even so, like it's still that hard to watch, and it's just a powerhouse, just masterpiece of a film. And yeah, I got to give it to Schindler's List.
One vote for Schindler's. What about yourself, Steph?
Yeah, I'd agree with Jordan on that. I think just echoing what Jordan said on that, like I'd have to go Schindler's List between the two.
Okay, perfect. Rob, are you eliminating Spotlight from the running, or does it stand a chance?
No, I think Spotlight's going to have to go. Unfortunately, Schindler's is such a good movie, and like Neeson is so good in it. Actually, Ben Kingsley was amazing in it. I thought he was fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
Ralph Fiennes was so horrible.
Yeah,
like it's as it is such a hard movie to watch, but it's such a good and poignant film, and so yeah, it's a better it's a more meaningful film, I think, than Spotlight. So yeah, I'll give it to, and better made. And it's hard to compare. You can't compare them because they're two amazing films, but Schindler's just has something else. It's so yeah, Schindler's for me.
Yeah, for me, I mean, they're
Perfect.
both
So
phenomenal
Schindler's
films.
List
And
is going through.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll keep it short and sweet. Yeah, Schindler's List. I think it's more of an Oscar-worthy film.
Yeah.
Perfect. See, as much as I'm not going to say enjoy Schindler's List, but as much as I enjoyed the film itself, I would have voted for Spotlight there myself.
Right.
To go through the next round, but Schindler's List goes through either which way. So we're gonna start this one off then, because I already know the vote is gone, so we may as well start with himself. Rob, it's Forrest Gump against Green Book.
Yeah, well, is that right? Yeah, Green Book. Short and sweet, Green Book for this one. There's not much more else we can say about Forrest. Like like Gary Sinise was amazing in it. Sally Field was great. It was a good fun. Just the way he went through history and the way he was involved in all these little bits. Watergate and shit happens, all that type of stuff. It was great fun. Forrest Gump, it's great, but Green Book to me is just it's going to be hard to beat Green Book for me now, to be honest. So yeah, there you go, Green Book.
Oh, yourself.
Is it my turn? For me, I mean, it's coming down to the nitty gritty of now. All these movies deserve to be on this list.
Yeah.
I mean, they all deserve to be on the list. They won Best Picture, but for me now it's starting to come down on which film I like more. I kind of feel like sometimes, and I mean, Forrest Gump for me. Like I said, that's like top 20 favorite movies all times for myself. So, sorry, Rob, don't hate me.
Okay.
No, I get it. I love Forrest Gump. It is a great film. I just happen to like Green Book more.
Yeah.
You're going to be disappointed as well. I'm voting for Forrest Gump on this one.
Yeah.
Even though basically it shouldn't be on the list whatsoever because it shouldn't have won that year. I think Forrest Gump for me is a better film than Green Book, so I'm voting for Forrest Gump.
Honestly,
Jordan, what about yourself?
If if Shawshank Redemption or Pulp Fiction were on this list, I mean, those would have made it to the finals for me, like hands down.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, without a doubt. Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that we all agree that those movies deserved it more, but yeah.
Yes.
Well, we want to hear a crazy hot take, so I got a show on my YouTube channel called Blind Spot. I have not seen Pulp Fiction or Shawshank Redemption. Either one of them I've not seen. I didn't want to admit it till now. I was going to wait to the finals to admit it. But so yeah, so I have some episodes coming up with some movies I get to watch for the first time. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, but Forrest Gump I have seen.
You will love them.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah.
That's what everyone tells me. So
you
yeah,
don't need-
I'm excited.
I mean, to be honest, Jordan, you don't need to watch all of the Shawshank Redemption. Robbie could give you like a full rendition of it, because when I used to work for
It's pretty true. The first time I watched it, I rewound it. I rewound
It was
the tape and
unreal.
watched
You
it
knew the
again
entire
straight
script.
Yeah. Right
Yeah,
on.
I used to play it in my shop about 2 or 3 times a day.
Nice. But yeah,
I mean, at this rate, like, I should know the entire script. You know, I should still have it.
right?
You should, yeah.
Yeah. It was unreal.
But I have seen Forrest Gump and Green Book, and I mean, I think they're both great. But Forrest Gump just holds a special place in my heart. I love Forrest Gump. I've probably watched that movie at least like once, maybe even twice a year. Like it's just that good to me, and just all the performances. And I know about 50 Ways to Cook Shrimp because of that movie, so I love that too. So I mean, so yeah, I got to go with Forrest Gump.
Perfect. That's 3 votes for Forrest Gump, so it will be going through to the next round. But Steph, what way would you have voted?
To be honest, I would have said Green Book as well, just between the two. That would be my preference of the two. Both great, but it's just my preferred choice. But hey ho.
Perfect. Of course. And we have
That's
a
just
very
like we're
difficult one,
brainwashed.
and we're gonna start off here with Paige. We have
Oh my God.
Silence of the Lambs
Seriously?
versus The Departed. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys did this to me
are
on
you standing strong
purpose.
for
That's sad.
Just imagine Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs with a Boston accent, and see does that sway
Oh
the vote.
my
Ooh.
Yeah. I'd be running for the hills. Let's say that.
Yeah, you would have been way
Imagine
scarier.
every conversation with Therese would be just so much weirder in a way.
Man, now I want to see that, honestly. Oh man, you guys
Some
are doing
fava
this to
beans.
me. I'm a
Fava
Boston
beans
girl.
and Chianti. I can't do
Yep.
the Boston accent, but I'm no good at it.
I'm a Boston girl, and I love The Departed so much. But I mean, The Silence of the Lamb is, I mean, we can't deny that's an Oscar-worthy movie right there, and I think that's the better film overall, I guess.
No.
If you guys vote The Departed in, then I'm an asshole at the end of the day. So.
Well, now we can't vote it in, right?
I'm
Yeah,
not
don't
going
make
to
me
do
look
that to you
that
now,
good.
Paige. I have for silence. I have to vote for Silence of the Lambs. It's as much as The Departed is such a good film, and it really is. Silence of the Lambs is just great films. So I have to give a vote to that. What about yourself, Jordan?
Yeah. I think I got to give it to Silence of the Lambs, just because that movie was just the performance of a lifetime, just like so good. Like if I think of like best performances maybe all time in a movie, probably I think of Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter. Like it's just so good. So and yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna unplug my mic.
well, I'm trying to think of some reasons to argue for The Departed over Silence of the Lambs, and I just can't really do it. So yeah, I got to go Silence of the Lambs.
Sorry, guys. Such bad
Perfect.
shot angle
Silence
right
of the
there. I gotta
Lambs
plug it
going
up.
through to the next round. You're all good. You're all good. So we have our
I vote Silence of the Lambs
semi-finalists.
too, by
We're
the way.
down to the last 4. Oh, apologies.
Yeah.
Apologies, Steph and Rob. I do
just
apologize.
a
What way would
little
you
side note there.
have voted?
You know, I'd have gone for Silence of the Lambs. Just a little side note. You know, Frankie Faison that plays Barney. In Silence of the Lambs, he's the keeper. He looks after the prisoners. He's the only actor that was actually in the original Manhunter movie as well. He played a cop in the original Manhunter. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's actually in the fourth film.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like a free-for-all
Cool.
question about Brian Cox in that film.
Not
So,
really.
fun fact, everyone.
Wow.
Oh, really? And Steph, sorry, apologies for that. Which one would you have voted for?
Like Silence of the Lambs. I mean, I love The Departed, and I'd watch that probably more over Silence of the Lambs, just because Silence of the Lambs is just so unsettling, which I love about it because it's just so epic. But it's definitely the Oscar film when you break it down between the two. You know, I mean, they're just both so good. But yeah, it's got to be Foster and Hopkins there. Yeah.
Great, okay. So Steph, I'm gonna start off this one with you for yourselves. I know where the vote is going. And that's the only reason to start off with yourself. In the semi-finals, we have Parasite against Schindler's List.
Ooh.
Wow, this is probably the hardest one thus far.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's very tough.
So, I mean, I'm sure you can guess my vote on this one. But to be fair, I know I haven't seen it, and from what I've heard of it, I can kind of, because I did read, you know, a fair bit about Parasite, because I was interested in the fact that it was like a foreign film and it was like nominated initially, you know, for so many, and I was thinking, wow, okay, this is clearly a big deal. I just haven't seen it yet. But
from the win.
Yeah. But Schindler's List is just, I think Schindler's List is a tough one to knock out regardless of what it's up against, to be honest. Like, it's just one of those films where it's hard to watch, yeah, but it is just such a masterpiece of a movie. Like, it really, really is. So I feel kind of unfair giving my vote when there's a film that I haven't seen in it. But I mean, there's enough of you to correct my vote if I vote wrong. I'll say Schindler's
You need
List.
to.
Leave it in your good
Perfect. One
hands.
for
So,
Schindler's.
yeah.
Perfect. And Rob, what about yourself?
For me, Parasite has gone as far as it's going to go. I think it's brilliant. I really think it's a brilliantly well made, well structured, poignant movie. It does show the difference of class and structure and everything, and that's brilliant, and it's done so well. But Schindler's is the better Oscar movie for me, so I'll give my vote for Schindler's.
Okay, and what way are you going there, Paige?
This is a really hard one for me, honestly. I think this is the hardest one we've had to face thus far, only because I personally think Schindler's List is a more Oscar-worthy type film. I just can't get over the themes and the messages within Parasite. And I mean, I love that about films, the films that have like that deep-rooted message and like symbolism and themes within it. And I'm going to go with Parasite on that one, only because I love films that have that in it. So Parasite
Perfect.
for me, this is going to be an interesting one.
Right,
I'm happy with
let's see.
either, though. I will say that. I'm happy with either.
See what's
I will
gonna
never
happen.
watch Schindler's
Well,
List again.
I will
though,
say,
Well, very true. Very true. I would
I
watch
will
Parasite
say,
again.
and
yes.
it'll probably cost me a night on the couch for the Parasite myself. Schindler's List, by the way, is my wife's favorite film. She's only watched it once, but it's her favorite film, which is why I'm saying, which I'm pretexting with that. But Parasite, I just loved, so I'm going to have to vote it over Schindler's List. And hopefully she doesn't hear this and watch it. I know she was watching earlier on, but I think she's gone to sleep. So Jordan, it's all in your well capable
leaving your
hands there.
stuff out on the couch.
Man, so it's all to me. Oh, okay.
You gotta try and get into your room and find the door locked after this.
Yeah, right.
I know,
man?
right?
You're
I
just like,
know,
Carl.
it's definitely not in the couch.
She might $1 million baby you, man.
Well, like I'm just trying to think, like, so, like, what if these two movies went it? What if these two movies went up against each other in the Oscars? Like, which would actually take it? What, like if it was actually presented? Like, I mean, it'd still be tough. I feel like
That's a good.
like,
I didn't
yeah,
even think
yeah.
about that when we were doing
Yeah.
this list at all until you just said that.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
So I'm just like,
Yeah, that's
probably
a
should have
really
done
good
it like
idea.
That's a great idea.
when I was thinking
Yeah.
of like someone opening the envelope and saying the Oscar goes to, and like who's it gonna be? But yeah, it's tough. I mean, probably. I mean, well, actually, definitely the more rewatchable one is Parasite. But I mean, I just think that like Schindler's List is just so powerful, and I mean, well, they both are. I don't know. This is tough. Because literally I could flip flop either way, like giving like how I'm feeling. But I think at this point I got to go with Schindler's List. I think that movie just really just blew me away, and yeah, like it's probably like out of any movie on this list, the one that I could say is a masterpiece over any movie as far as like just perfect from beginning to end. So yeah, I'll give it to Schindler's List.
Oh, thank God.
Schindler's List, truth.
Yep, right.
Steph, you can vote into the finals. You can vote in the finals, Steph.
You didn't screw it up for us, Steph. It's all good.
I won't go ringing the director of Parasite, telling him that I paint houses and stuff like that. Do my own carpentry and all that. I'll leave it out.
I can't believe you really loved. I'm sorry, this is a side note. You really loved Irishman. Like.
No. So here's the, yes, I did.
Just because it was a great movie, but it's a long, and I just didn't think it was that entertaining. I don't know, but obviously you can't go wrong with those actors and directors. But
I think I had waited so long for, the two of them to be in a film together, and there were just so many favorites in it. And the thing, it's funny you say about it not being that entertaining, because when I watched, I only watched it twice, and the first time I watched it, I was about 25 minutes into The Irishman, and my husband came in and said, what are you watching? And I was, The Irishman. He's like, and what's happened in it so far? And I was like, not much. I was
and then 3 hours later,
stop watching it. I said I have no impulse to turn it off. I'm really captivated by this, even though I wasn't in a position to tell him like, oh, this major thing has happened, or there's this plot thickening, or there was nothing like that at that point in the film. And I was like enough through it that you should be able to give some sort of summary. And there wasn't, but I was still just so captivated. I loved the whole de-aging process they did. I just thought it was just incredibly done. I just loved everything about it. And it was like a tragedy unfolding. It was like, just, it was so, I kind of hadn't felt that way about anything on TV. So I watched it on TV when it came out, but like I think Breaking Bad, where it was like a tragedy unfolding over the 5 or 6.
Okay, yeah, I like that comparison. I've never thought of it like that. Yeah, I've never thought of those two, but I like that. Yeah.
So, just so sad. It was such a sad story where he ends up in his life, and just the reflections on everything. And I just thought, oh my gosh. So even though it's The Irishman, and yet it's mostly Italian Americans sat around, doing this really long, for half an hour. Like, I don't even know what's happening. But I absolutely just was captivated by it. And I was more shocked that it just didn't take anything away. Do you know what I mean? That I was just more shocked that and Joker as well, wasn't it? I'm kind of losing track of what was it. But there was a few that I really thought that's pegged to win this and that and the other. And when Parasite basically bagged everything, a film that I haven't seen, so I'm not, I'm genuine. I joke about it, but I'm not making judgment on it. I was just really shocked that I was like, really? Like over that? I was just really surprised by it. So, and yet my husband really wants to watch that.
Yep,
I think it's because of the
find out why
within the movie, exactly.
Yeah.
We all want to hear what your opinion on Parasite will be when you actually watch it.
Yes, you have to make a review. You have to post a review for it.
In contrary to everything I joke about it, I'm probably going to love it and be like, oh my gosh, I'm totally like mind blown. I see what all the hype is about. I just didn't get it at the Oscars when it bagged everything, having not seen it, and was like, I don't understand this film winning. I couldn't get my head around it. And obviously I did like The Irishman and Joker and stuff, and just thought they should have gotten more, but that was just my own opinion. So I won't be threatening anyone.
Perfect.
I promise. Like if it wins, that's fine.
Perfect. So, Jordan, for the last of the semi-finals here, we have Forrest Gump versus The Departed. No,
Right.
it's Forrest Gump versus Silence of the Lambs. Sorry.
Yep, I was like,
That's the
wait
wrong
a
thing written
minute.
in.
Really?
Forrest Gump against Silence of the Lambs.
You're making it even harder then, because I was like,
Yes.
I was gonna say Forrest Gump right away, but now I'm like, oh, maybe not. But I still think
Shawshank
that,
Redemption. Shawshank Redemption.
right? Yeah, there you go.
Let's remember this Shawshank Redemption.
Well, for me, Forrest Gump just holds such a special place in my heart. Like, it's just like when I was growing up, like, I don't know, like I just felt like it was one of the first Oscar movies that I really just fell in love with when I saw it, and like, so like I had seen other Oscar movies before, and like I could kind of see it like as a child, like oh, like people think that the movie's really great, but I mean I don't know, I find myself loving it at this age, being so young. But when Forrest Gump came out, I think I was like, I don't know, maybe like 11 or 12 years old or something, and yeah, like I loved it. Like, so I gotta go with Forrest Gump just for that reason, because I feel like I gotta find something to like dig deep to find a reason to pick that over Silence of the Lambs, because I also love Silence of the Lambs, but I'll go with Forrest Gump.
Perfect. Forrest Gump with a vote. What about yourself there, Steph?
Silence of the Lambs. It's got to be Silence of the Lambs.
Perfect. Okay. Rob?
Yeah, I think Silence of the Lambs has to be up against Parasite now at this stage.
That
Yeah,
would have been interesting.
Yeah, no, I love Silence of the Lambs. It's been one of the best movies from this whole category, I think. So yeah, definitely it's up there. Forrest Gump is brilliant. I've loved it. I have voted it out already, but if it's going, it should go to Silence of the Lambs.
Perfect. And Paige, what about yourself?
I mean, I'm keeping this short and sweet. I mean, personally, I think Silence of the Lambs, man. That movie, what it did at the Oscars that year, that movie. Sorry,
Perfect.
Forrest.
Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs getting my vote there as well. But it just goes to show how strong a year 1994 was, when what the consent here thinks the third best year semi-final.
Right.
So that shows how good 1994 was.
What year did Silence of the Lambs come out
But
again? Was that 90,
we have our finals here now.
92? 91?
91.
No, that
91?
was
Okay, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
that was 91.
I mean, I will say the 90s, man.
Silence of
The
the Lambs, ready?
90s had a great... What did you say? I think it's 91.
No, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was
91,
saying...
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Honestly, the 90s was such a great...
It was a great decade for movies.
Decade. I don't know why
was.
someone said century. Yeah, it was a great decade of film. Like,
It really, really was.
Perfect. Okay. Sorry, Jordan just dropped in. He's back there now. Perfect.
Back,
So
okay,
we're gonna
yeah.
get the finals in here now. And Paige, we'll start off with yourself.
Whoa.
We have Schindler's List up against Silence of the Lambs.
For me, honestly,
This is a lineup.
The greatest Oscar film of all.
yeah, I
this is the
mean,
finals.
and
Great
these
Oscar
are,
film.
yeah, and once again, it's two 90s films as well. Honestly, these are two
There we
great,
go.
amazing Oscar-worthy films, and they both deserve where they are right now. I think the way we ended this, I think a lot of these films are Like if I had to make my own personal list, I would agree with a lot of what we just did here today. And for me, I mean, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
keep going with it. Silence of the Lambs won all 5 of the big awards that year that it won, and it's just a phenomenal film. And the fact that I love horror, so the fact that a horror film won and did what it did at the Oscars, I think is a huge accomplishment. So for me, it is Silence of the Lambs.
Perfect. Just one vote for Silence of the Lambs. Rob, which way are you going to go?
I think I'll go with Silence of the Lambs. I think that should win for me. You know, as I said, it won a sweep. You know, like Andy Hopkins won his Oscar for like 24 minutes of screen time. It says a lot for what he did in that movie. You know, I think the only person to do it shorter, to win an Oscar for a shorter time was David Niven back in 1958. So that tells you how long it's been. So yeah, Silence of the Lambs, best Oscar winner for the last 32 years.
Perfect. That's 2 votes for Silence of the Lambs. Are you going the same way, Steph?
I Silence of the Lambs for me. Yeah, you've got 2 very, very, very worthy, you know, Oscar-winning films, but of the 2, I would say Silence of the Lambs.
Perfect. Silence of the Lambs.
If you gotta come
that's
down,
3 votes. It has. Sorry.
it's just like Silence of the Lambs is more enjoyable. You know, like Schindler's List is such a great, powerful, hard movie, but Silence of the Lambs, it's just more an enjoyable movie to watch. So
Yeah,
you know,
That's true. That's
Well,
true.
I
Would you have gone the
think
same
you
way,
hit the nail on
Jordan?
the head of that. Like Schindler's List.
Well, it just makes me think what would happen if we would have thrown in some movies like Godfather 2 or like Rocky or some movies like that. Maybe it could have been a little different, but I mean, I know we only have so much time to get through so many movies. So, but yeah, I think
True.
though that that I would probably actually go with Schindler's List, and it might be because I've watched it so recently compared to Silence of the Lambs. I probably haven't seen that movie for about 10 years or so, and so but I just think that Schindler's List was just such a powerful movie. Just, I mean, all the acting performances were just top notch. I mean, and I have a best friend who's Jewish, and I kind of like just kind of try and put myself in his mindset, like what he'd be thinking and feeling while watching it. I mean, I'm sure it'd be a totally different experience, and so like I got to go with Schindler's List. So
Perfect. Schindler's List. At least it doesn't lose the finals without it getting a vote. Well, I have to vote for Silence of the Lambs there myself. And this, I honestly at the start of the whole thing, I couldn't pick a winner, but I can't say I'm disappointed with Silence of the Lambs being the winner there. Definitely deserves it. As I said, it won all 5 out of the big Oscars, and it won this. So you can't, you know, if I'm comparing this show to the Oscars, you know.
so they should just all make us Academy members now, I think.
but also,
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
I'd be down for that. And also, we had a famous Oscar flub with the Departed and Silence of the Lambs. Like we almost had Departed in here, right? That's like consistent with the Oscar.
We
flubs,
almost
right?
did. That's very true. That's very true.
So went well.
So we have it there, and we have found out the best Oscar film of the last 32 years. Ready to watch the Oscars now tomorrow evening. Just a quick go around there. What do you guys think is going to win tomorrow?
Oh, No Man's Land for Best Picture, hands down.
No Man's Land. The favorite really is between that and Minari, isn't it? See, neither of those films are actually released over here in Ireland or the UK as of yet, so I haven't had a chance to see either of them. So I'm going into the Oscars this year. It's kind of a bit blind because I don't know. I haven't seen most of the films. But
Yeah. Same.
I'm kind of
Yeah, like I'd say
any of
either
the
that
film nominated. I'm looking forward to watching.
or like I was a huge fan of the Trial of Chicago 7. I mean, I thought that could have even had like a little bit of a
Really?
case, you know?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm so shocked even nominated. To be honest, I'm so
really.
shocked that's even nominated. I watched it. Yeah, I watched it and I wasn't a fan at all, really.
Well, for 2020,
Um,
for movies that came out in 2020, I think that it fits. I feel like in a regular year, a movie like probably like a lot of these movies maybe wouldn't even have made the cut. But
Yeah,
we had a
it's a
we had a
weird
weird
year
year.
for Oscars anyway, so there's that.
Yeah,
That's very true. Very true.
yeah.
Perfect. So now that we have that, why don't you just go around, promote anything that we have coming up, and we can let you all go back to your normal lives. Paige, do you have anything coming up yourself?
Well, guys, I am on the Schmodown. Today was the free for all. You guys should go check it out if you have not.
Doing
If
that
you're a
after this.
Patreon. If not, then it will be out, I think, in a week or two. So you guys should definitely check it out. I think it's one of the funnest events of the year. It's like the Royal Rumble, but with not as much sweat, and it's about movie trivia. And yeah, you guys can catch me out on Instagram and Twitter at I have hair in my mouth. From Page News 9 on Instagram and Twitter, and I also run my own movie blog on Instagram titled Feature Flicks. There I've actually posted my Oscar predictions for tomorrow. You guys should check it out. And there I post movie reviews, news, and all that fun jazz. So you guys should go and I want to know what you guys think of your predictions tomorrow and if ours match up or not. And thank you guys all so much. It was so nice meeting all of you guys. It's so awesome to be able to do this and meet people from all around the world and stuff. So, and you guys all have great taste in film.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that even more.
Absolutely.
Perfect. And Jordan, what about yourself?
So you can find me all over my YouTube channel, the Movie Hero Network. We got a show called Tier Ranker Fights, which we're going to do a little pre-Oscar tier ranker fight tomorrow, and we just want to pick an Oscar-worthy actor. So we're doing the films of Leonardo DiCaprio. We're going to rank them and have a little debate there. And on the episode, we're going to have Lon Harris and Paul Preston joining me, so that should be a fun time. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then we have another show that's called Live from Movie Hero, where we review classic episodes of Saturday Night Live. So we have that one will be on about a 1 week hiatus. I'm going to be out of town starting mid next week, but that one's coming back. And then we're getting ready to start a podcast as well, where we want to try to venture into some things outside of the movie round. We're gonna have it loosely connected to movies and TV, but because everything else we covered all about that. But we're gonna just talk about some things in our personal lives and just get into some other fun topics. So we got that, and then also I run a group on Facebook called Schmodown Friends and Family. So if you have anything that you ever want to promote, you're definitely welcome to throw it in the group and promote to your heart's content, because that's what the group's there for. And we also talk a lot of schmo down there. So yeah, you can come take part in that. And yeah, that's basically where you can find me. So
Perfect. And Steph, what about yourself?
Well, I'll be sleeping in the next 10 minutes. That's next on my agenda. It's been a long week. So I'm Irish, living in the UK, and we've only just recently come out of our third lockdown. Oh, I don't know who's counting anymore, right? I think it's lockdown 3.0.
Right.
And we've only just kind of come up. I own a shop, so we only just opened the shop again nearly 2 weeks ago. Whatever date that was, we could reopen. So I'm just trying to get my head back into the game with work, because the shop I own is it's basically like an immersive fairy tale boutique for kids. So like if a little one wants to come in and get like a Cinderella inspired dress for her birthday, she can meet Cinderella in shop and stuff. So we do sell online. You can check out theemporiumonline.com. And our main website for all the events we do in store and everything is beyondimaginationemporium.co.uk. So you can check us out and listen to me ramble on my infrequent lives as I try to get my head back into actually, having to wear makeup and normal clothes and not just be a slob at home 3 months like I have been.
Yep.
So fun time.
And Rob, do you have anything to promote other than your your lists that you have there going on Letterboxd.
Oh no! I'm gonna sit down and watch one of the only two movies I think that we have here that have been nominated for an Oscar, which I think is Promising Young Woman and Sound of Metal. So I'm going to watch either of them, and I might chill in and watch a bit of the Schmodown as well. It's always great fun. But that's all I have going for me at the moment. Other than that, we're still in lockdown here for another month at least, I'd say. So I'll just catch up on some more movies that I haven't seen. So that's about it.
Yep.
Perfect.
I would trade
Perfect.
places with Jeremy. I slob at heart, and I got way too used to being in lockdown. So I was really in my element just at home. Like, you know, the government are telling us we shouldn't go out. This is awesome. Just give me a coffee and my laptop and stay home. It's great.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, back to work. And I was like, what?
You know what I'm like.
Get used to all
I don't
that
want to go
again.
back to work. You know what
Perfect.
I'm like.
Right, so,
I love my job and I love my work, but I just don't want to go back anymore.
No.
Same, man. Same.
Great.
I can wear my pajamas.
Well, regarding this show, usually we do it every 2 weeks. So next time up, may actually be 3 weeks because I do have an exam coming up in my own job myself, and it actually sets on the Saturday, and that I'm meant to be doing a show. So maybe 3 weeks show out here, but don't worry, we will be back, and we'll be doing another one of these lists. But there we have it. We have Silence of the Lambs, the greatest Oscar film of the last 32 years. And anyway, so thank you all for being here, and I'll see you all soon.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
All right.